Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
The following is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD-TV.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Lubbock High, Monterey, Coronado, and Estacado. All of them are perennial playoff contenders, wreaking havoc to every name on their schedule.
Oh, what a ball! What a score!
Elite? Yeah. A tradition of winning? But when did that tradition start? Was it the state championships that laid the foundation? The district titles that come on an annual basis? Or none of that at all? Maybe it's something more. And tonight, we are going to find out because the Boys of Fall are back. Presented by Lubbock ISD-TV.
That music means high school football at Lowry Field, presented by Lubbock ISD-TV, as we have the premier 4 o'clock matchup, not just on the South Plains, but across the Lone Star State, as the Mustangs from Andrews pays a visit to the Westerners from Lubbock High. Devin Ward here alongside Diego Molinar. Diego, it's your second time here in the booth, and we couldn't be more excited to have you back up here, man.
Right, thanks for having me, Mr. Ward. Super excited to get into it today.
Yeah, he killed it the last time. Really proud of him. Of course, he is a senior from Lubbock High, so I'm anxious to see. Being a reporter, you can't be biased, and so I'm looking forward to seeing him put on the unbiased cap here tonight. Of course, two teams that are 2-2 on the season, both of them looking to do something great here. Of course, Andrews making a visit here in town, and they've kind of had the Westerners number as of late. Of course, Lubbock High looking to change that, but here are some names you need to know for the Andrews Mustangs, and we're going to start on the defensive side of the ball in Juan Hernandez. When I was looking at the film, he kind of stood out to me. He kind of looked like a guy that fit the part. He stands at 5'9", is 210 pounds, but he's a 3-year letterman. He's been on varsity since his sophomore year. Last week, he had 3 tackles and was a part of a sack that led to a fumble recovery. That was a defensive touchdown. So he's a name you need to know on the defensive side of the ball. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, the Mustangs have really changed things up this year. When you think of Andrews, you think of spread offense. Not anymore. This season, they're running they're going to be running the ball all the time, and they have the perfect quarterback to do that, and that's Aiden Olivas. He's great about waiting behind his blockers, finding a seam, and then exploding out for a big play. He's built solid, and he'll make some plays with his feet. Now, on the other side of the ball, I'm going to pass this paper on over to Diego here. On the other side, though, the Westerners, they have some playmakers of their own, and last week we saw a new running back in the fold for the Westerners getting pulled up from the JV, and, man, he popped off for a big game.
Right, and that was number 32, Zeph Barella. He was on JV to start the season, but he is 5'10" and built to play running back, and he isn't slow. He showed last week that he can flat out just play. The sophomore had a great night, running for 206 yards and 15 carries. He is a north to south running back, and I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah, no, north to south is a lot of fun, and I love what you said there. 15 carries, 200-plus yards. On the other side of the ball, they got a standout playing on their linebacker spot, and he's one of their captains.
Right, number 42, Zeke Rodriguez. He is balling out on his senior year. The captain on defense has 51 total tackles through their first 4 games and leads the Lubbock area with 12.8 tackles per game. He's a guy that will have a busy night tonight trying to contain the Mustangs' rushing attack.
Yeah, the defense is going to be a major focus for the Lubbock High Westerners tonight. Can they contain the run from the Mustangs? It's been a strength for them this season. They've been able to contain running teams, and we're looking to see if they can do that again tonight. Are you ready?
I'm excited. I'm ready to get going.
It's Westerners Mustangs. Who do you got? We're going to find out. Kickoff, moments away. Stay with us. This game is being presented by Lubbock ISD-TV.
My name is Lily.
My name is Henry.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD-TV students
learning professional broadcast skills right now.
But we also do a lot more.
We have many student-produced shows
that allow us to grow our video storytelling,
producing, and hosting skills.
You can check out our work at any time at LubbockISDTV.com.
Or follow us on your favorite social media platform. We're on Facebook,
Twitter,
or X, or whatever they call it.
Whatever they call it nowadays.
Instagram, and don't forget Threads.
And of course,
Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
If you like our content, please show us
by hitting that thumbs up button.
Even better, share our stories so people can see the great things happening in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Now back to the game.
Field at Plains Capital Park. As you see there, it is a warm Friday afternoon. See some cloud coverage, and so we might have some spots here and there that it might be cool, but right now it is 95 degrees with a humidity of 27%. But it is, I almost said the Matadors, the Westerners versus the Mustangs. Devin Ward, Diego Molinar, and the entire Lubbock ISD TV crew. We thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Of course, Diego is a senior at Lubbock High, and he told me he's not nervous.
Yeah, not too nervous today. It's my second time, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. And I know these guys, so that also leaves me up for a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So these two teams are very familiar with each other. Last year, these two teams matched up out in Andrews. The Mustangs won that game 64-14. The Mustangs, they scored quick in that game. They had a pick six, and the Westerners got down early and just couldn't get out of that hole. And so turnovers killed Lubbock High that night. I know they look to limit that here tonight. Mustangs kicking things off. It is an end-over-end kick. Going in and out of the hands of the Westerner, Tyreek Cook, and he's going to gather it at about the 1 yard line, looking for some blocks and trying to hit this close sideline, cutting it back up, and that is not the start Coach Rod wanted, as they're going to get the ball rolling at the 3 yard line.
Right, it was good special teams coverage there for Andrews there. Just swarmed them there after the muffed catch there. Thank you.
So that's where they're going to get the ball rolling tonight. Of course, you went to the coaches' luncheon earlier this week, Diego, and Coach Rod kind of alluded to that we might see a couple new faces or a couple quarterbacks tonight.
Right, he mentioned the name Zach Reyna as he filled in for the injured freshman quarterback, Dallas Trevino, and he told me Dallas would be in the mix today. So we're looking to see.
Yeah, they're going under center here on the first play of the game, trying to get some space between them and the end zone. And it's going to be a gain of about 1 or 2. See here on the instant replay, they just went under center and tried to get some power their way to a gain of a couple.
Right, and just those little yards open up the playbook a little bit, because when you're back there against your end zone, obviously you're thinking of the safety, and that puts a little pressure on your O-line, puts a little pressure on everybody.
A lot of pre-snap movement here, and it looks like Zeph is in the backfield all by himself. It's going to be a quick pass over the middle. In and out of the hands. That was bobbled there. Some trickery here getting the things rolling for us here, Diego.
Right, it looked like Zeph was lined up in the wildcat position there. Look, and he actually threw the ball.
Yeah, Barella there. You know, when you see 32 running around in the back of the end zone, you're thinking he's going to run it.
Right.
But he throws it. All right, so we have Dallas Trevino checking in at quarterback here. You love seeing him back, and they're going to go offsides. It's a free play, trying to go over the top. Great defense there by the Mustang, turning around last second.
Right, good defense there, but ultimately the flag has made it a free play.
You like that there, because now third and 8 now becomes 3rd and 3.
And just those little yards can help the offense. I mean, it goes from a 3rd and long to a 3rd and manageable there.
Absolutely. You see him trying to go to the air. Of course, not there is because that defender was right there. So here's 3rd down. Trevino's going to get the snap, another flag. He's going to have to run for his life. Throwing it on the run. Caught. Great pass there from Trevino, showing some serious athletic ability there.
Right, he scrambled out of the pocket there and on the run. Kind of looked like a lefty shortstop there, being able to throw across his body into a tight hole.
You better watch for your job at shortstop because Trevino's got it.
Yeah, great play there by Trevino.
Of course, he is a freshman standing at 5'9", 140 pounds. That was some great stuff there.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot normally, and especially at the high school level. That was a great play there by the freshman.
So here we are, a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Trevino throwing the screen, and it's going to be caught, but swarming to the balls. All the Mustangs, tip your cap to that defense there for getting to him.
Right, got to him fast. He didn't have anywhere to go there. Great job by the Mustang defense. I know they're proud of themselves on that one. Just got to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, you see a lot of black helmets flying to that ball there, not allowing him to get any space, and it was going to go down for a loss of 2 on the play. Trevino claps his hands there and then looks to the sideline. That's how they're trying to get that defense off sides, right? If they would have jumped, you would have seen the center probably snap the ball.
Right, and we've seen 2 free plays already.
It's going to be a handoff to Barella. Going north to south. He's got a 1st down and more. Great run there by Zeph Barella, the guy that we previewed pregame, and that's why we previewed him. He went off last game, and that's a great first run.
Right, and we could talk about the yards after contact there. He got hit as soon as he passed the line of scrimmage. and he just kept it going. It might take the whole team to take him down.
Yeah, when you have the wheels turning and you're built like him, he is hard to take down. It's like taking down a tank, right?
Right, and he kept his feet moving on that one. I don't know I don't know if they expected that, but I know that the coaching staff will try to make an adjustment here for Zeph Barella.
I'll tell you what, one of the strengths of this team for Lubbock High is that offensive line, as that pass goes incomplete, intended for Trini Tijerina. One of the strengths of this team, though, is that offensive line, right? They learned last week that they got some guys up front that can move some people, and I bet they lean heavily on the run game tonight.
Right, and one of those O-linemen that I actually talked to Coach Rod about was Keegan Davis. He said he was an offensive lineman, and he was really the heart of the offensive line, but he also tends to run the ball sometimes.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, sir.
I love that Diego's coming in with some stats tonight. Of course, we're streaming live on YouTube. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Barella with the handoff here, going outside the tackle, kind of pausing and slowing down a little bit to run over a Mustang.
Right, and he ultimately gets stopped at the 50-yard line. Looks like he's kind of limping there.
Well, and you don't want to see that. Yeah, he is limping
he's
pretty
limping
hard coming off the field.
That's Zeke Rodriguez going in to replace him.
Of course, Zeke Rodriguez, a guy that's been heavily talked about because of how many tackles he averages as the captain on the defense. But we're going to keep an eye on Zeph Barella as he's sitting down on the bench over there.
Right, and we talk about Zeke. Not only does he make a huge impact on defense, but as we can see, he's coming in, ready to play the running back spot. Wonder how hard that is for him to watch film on both sides of the ball.
Right, because you got to be disciplined and you got to study both sides as they're going to the air here, trying to hit. Ooh, and if Trini was able to connect on that with his speed, he would have been gone.
Right, just a little overthrown by Dallas there, but it's such an easy fix there. And with Trini's speed, you know, he's going 6 on that one.
Absolutely. You see him there, Barella on the sideline, looking for his helmet, trying to get back in. He didn't want anything to do with the training staff
Right.
down there. All right, 4th and 7, or second fourth down of this drive here, Diego. I believe that's correct, right? Second fourth down? That sounds right. Feels right.
It feels right.
It feels like this drive has been going for quite some time.
They're looking to convert on this 4th and 7.
Here's Trevino. And he's going to tuck it and run. He made the right decision there. Oh, and he might be a yard short. It's going to come down to the spot, and he's going to be short. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
And it looked like he might have been able to get that extra yard, but the defenders were coming in pretty hard. It's hard to tell.
Right, and as a quarterback, you're trained to not take a hit. It's not worth getting hit. As he comes up just about, and he made the right decision there, tucking it and running. He just slid about 2 yards short. That's something as a freshman, and you learn with experience and more reps. You know where that line to gain is, and he just came up just short right there.
That's right, and especially with him being injured in the past few weeks.
Oh, here comes this offense. Got to be disciplined if you're Lubbock High, right? You have to be able to read your keys, hit the right person, and make the tackle.
Right, because in pregame I saw Andrews running a lot of misdirection. You don't know who they're going to go to. They have a lot of guys lined up in the backfield, so you just really got to pay attention to who has the ball.
Right. Andrews, they run the old school traditional style of offense. If you like watching like the Naval Academy play offense, you're going to love tonight. The Andrews Mustangs have been known traditionally to spread the ball as they try to go to the air here. Oh, and getting sacked on the play. Coming in and swooping in to make the play is Bryson Garza.
He got there fast, and he just went around the defensive end, ultimately couldn't block him, came in, made a great play as they tried to throw him off there with the pass because they're typically a run-heavy offense.
I believe they threw 4 passes all of last game. And play number 2 for this offense looking to do it. So talking about passing, though, traditionally Andrews would spread the ball out on offense, but this season they're running the slot T as they run a reverse here. Making an open field tackle was Markel Wine, and it's going to be 4th down as it's going to be short by a couple yards.
Yep, good tackle there.
Yeah, you see him going low there.
Yep.
And that's what you do when you're a corner and you're seeing somebody coming around hot on the edge. You hit them low, and you'll take them down.
Right, lower man wins there, as they say.
So the first 4th down of the night for the Mustangs. They appear to be going for it here as they are now in Westerner territory after that carry. Running up to the line quickly. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. He's got the first down and more. Patiently waiting behind his blockers, and he's got a chance to score. He will. The Mustangs will take the first lead of the game as he scampers in from the 48-yard line.
Right, that was a great play call there. Had 3 guys going 3 different ways. No one really knew who to hit there. And it was just a great run in the end to get into the touchdown.
Mercutio Saez, the junior, standing at 5'5", hit behind the lineman there and went in for the score. That was that was a great play call there, hitting the fullback and letting him go the distance.
Right, he's going to get you those tough extra yards that you need in a first down there. They were hoping for a first down, but ultimately got the touchdown as the PAT is blocked.
It is blocked, and so it's going to be 6-0. The Mustangs strike first. Got to be really disciplined on when you're playing that kind of style of offense, and you see how dangerous this Andrews team is. Of course, you see the fans showing up tonight. It's 4 o'clock. It feels weird calling a game at 4 o'clock, Diego, but the Lubbock High student section is one of the main traditions of Lubbock High football. They have one of the best student sections in this region.
Right, I spoke to some football players to see how they felt about the student section. They said they love it. When the fans are into it, they're into it. They feel like they get more locked in and want to win even more.
I feel like the Lubbock High fans are always into it.
Always.
And it doesn't matter what the scoreboard looks like. They're in, and they're doing the weird headbangs. They're doing all the stuff.
Right, and that goes to what we have at Lubbock High is the Rough Riders, and they really start everything up, and they get the whole student section and crowd hype, which helps the players as we've seen.
Do things start and stop with the Rough Riders kind of thing down there?
Yes, sometimes the Rough Riders get it started. Most of the time they do, but sometimes you'll get the student chants that starts in the student section, and you'll hear them throughout this side of the field here.
So here's the second time tonight that the Mustangs will kick the ball off. You know, these two teams have a series history between each other. Andrews has won the last 5 games against Lubbock High and have an overall record of 6-3-1 against Lubbock High. Tonight's the 11th matchup between these two programs, and Lubbock High is looking to respond here after giving up the first score and a much better return this time around.
Right, you saw them kick it to the same guy. They were hoping for the same outcome.
Yeah, Tyreek Cook there. What'd you see there?
It looked like there was a little
communication between the two teams?
Right, a little
friendly competition, huh?
Yep, you love to see some competition. Love to see these guys playing the sport they love.
And there was a great block there on that instant replay as I was just watching it there. Cook, of course, taking it to the 27-yard line. And some trickery here on the first play. They have a lot of blockers in front of Trinity. And the Mustangs will get to him at the 36-yard line, a gain of 9. We're going to have a sideline report tonight with our very own Dominic Martinez. Dom, what do you have for us down there?
All right. Thanks, Mr. Ward. Elijah, out here in the hot sun, getting the crowd all hyped up. You know, it must be a pretty busy day for you.
Yes, it is. It does get pretty busy, but the crowd, they're amazing, and they always, bring everything alive, and they're the reason we do as good as we do.
It must be an incredible experience for you, Elijah. You know, being out here at Lowry Field is always a great experience, especially for students. Do you have anything to say about the Rough Riders and how the Rough Riders work?
The Rough Riders are amazing. I believe it's something that everyone should try out, whenever they do auditions. I feel like everyone loves us, and we all work together, and it's a very teamwork-based thing, and we get everyone excited, and it always feels good.
Thanks, Mr. Ward. Sending it back to you at the booth.
All right, thank you so much, Dom. Of course, he was talking to one of the Rough Riders right there. We do have a Lubbock High Westerner down. All of our timeouts this year is presented by UMC Children's Hospital. Thank you to them for sponsoring our timeouts this season. And I think we should take a timeout as the Westerner is down. We're going to look at the instant replay first, though. Of course, it was Zeke Rodriguez on the carry. He's a pivotal part of the defense, and you hope he's not the Westerner down. Of course, you don't ever want to see anybody down, but I believe that is Rodriguez that is down right now for Lubbock High. So we'll take a quick pause. The Mustangs on top of the Westerners, 6-0, but Lubbock High has the ball. We'll be back with more right after this. right, and we are back. We see Zeke Rodriguez currently walking off the field under his own power, cradling his arm there and shaking his head no. We saw a replay in the, from the truck, and it didn't look good at all. What I love to see, though, is what the Andrews Mustangs did on the opposite side.
Right, they went over there, gave Zeke his space still, but still huddled up and more than likely prayed for Zeke there.
And so trying to, and that's one of your stars on this team, and you don't want to see anybody going down. Of course, we're back at it, though, 1st and 10, and that's going to be a completion for a solid gain there. That's what you want to see with your offense, right? Moments after a big moment where one of your star players goes down, gets a big reception there to get things rolling again.
Right, if one goes down, then the other's there to pick you up, and I bet that they said they're going to play this game for Zeke here.
Absolutely. DJ Jones checking into the game now. We believe that's DJ Jones rocking number 10 out there at running back.
Right, looks like him.
You're a student at Lubbock High. You think you recognize him?
I think that's him.
Perfect. Trips on that far side. Of course, Trevino, the clap and the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Jones. Bouncing off of a defender and another. Continuing to go strong. That's going to be a first down on his first carry of the game.
That was a great run there. Great tough run. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, but actually the defender stayed with him the whole time. He was trying to get him off of him, but he couldn't. He just kind of stayed with him and ultimately pushed him out of bounds.
You know, when we were deciding on who we wanted to preview, Cooper Iveson was somebody that I kept coming back to when I was thinking about who should we talk about pregame. Number 20 is a guy on that defensive side of the ball for Andrews that can make some plays happen. It's a pitch to Jones, trying to stiff arm Iveson, but another defender there was there to clean him up.
Yeah, you saw the Mustang defense swarm all over the Westerner ball carrier there, DJ Jones.
There was multiple Mustangs right there, and he had no shot of breaking away there. Great pursuit angles, great defense by the Andrews Mustangs. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. One thing you'll notice tonight, Diego, is that with these two teams that love to run the ball, knock on wood because we're baseball guys, but the clock will roll. DJ Jones with the reception there. Great open field tackle by the Mustang.
Right, the clock is going to run. These two teams love to run the ball. Definitely run heavy there.
I was about to interrupt you there. You're looking at Zeke Rodriguez right now, and obviously in a lot of pain. We're sending a lot of positive energy to that young man. As you could tell, he is struggling.
Yeah, hoping everything's okay with him.
On a positive note, he still has his shoulder pads on, right?
Right.
And that's so hopefully he's okay. And that's intercepted. That's picked off at the 35-yard line. The Mustangs have it. An open field tackle to tackle the Mustang. But with the interception was Brady Kelly, the 6'1" junior. And that kind of sucked the wind out of us right there, Diego, in this Lubbock High offense as they're about to have to come back out here and play some defense.
Right, he had good hands on that interception there. Just followed him the whole way, as you could see on the instant replay. Followed him the whole way and just ultimately got up there, made a fantastic athletic play there.
I loved what you said there. He has some hands. He had to snag that ball out of the air because Trevino had a little zip on that pass trying to hit his receiver in between the safeties, but it was the safety that came away with it there. Quarterback keeper, nothing going for him right there. The defense standing tall for Lubbock High.
Right, he knew exactly who had the ball there, and there wasn't no fooling him. Tackled the right guy, made a great play there.
I really like Aiden Olivas as the quarterback of this team, right? It's all about decision-making. When do I pitch it? When do I hand the ball off? And number 7, Aiden Olivas, has been one of the film that I've watched. He's been making the right decisions in these games.
Right, and he's the leader of this team here, this offense.
It's a handoff. Great gap there. Great blocking by the offensive line to allow that hole there for the running back, Marquio Saez.
Right, and he ultimately had the ball up there. And as we were saying on decision-making, that's important for this type of offense here. They're run heavy. They have a lot of guys going different ways, so you just have to know exactly when and who.
Well, and you saw that instant replay right there, and if you were watching him, he's selling that defense. He's making the defenders think he still has the ball by looking at the running back, and it'll be a sweep around the corner. They have the first down and more. Saez still going, and it'll be pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It was all about the deception, and that was a great play there.
Right, and we saw in the previous play, handed it off to the left side, but it looked like they faked that handoff and actually pitched it, which helped. That
5-yard penalty. Still third.
is Jayshawn DeBose. He's a big option for this Mustangs in the running game. The sophomore running back, DeBose, has already gained interest from Texas Tech, Texas Christian, and Baylor. And I watched their game against Seminole the other day, and he leaped over a defender. And you see why he's getting all that the publicity. He's quick. He can break away from defenders. He lines up in what I call the H-back position, Diego, which means he can block and he can get the ball on any play.
Right, and the coaches trust him to block and run the ball on any play. And that also goes back to the quarterback making the right decision.
And it looks like DeBose has it again. Cutting it back upfield. We're seeing the breakaway speed. Can he go the distance? It's going to be tough. He'll be pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line. You see the defender, very last second, saving the play for Lubbock High, but we were just speaking about his speed, and we saw it there.
Right, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. They went to him twice in a row there. They just haven't found a stop to him yet. He's just really quick. He has the juke moves. He has everything to it. He keeps his feet moving through everything, even after contact.
Well, and you see the field vision there, right? He knew he was going to the far right side, but cut it back to the left because he had a lot of green turf in front of him.
Right, and also with the defender trailing him, he used the angle toward the end zone to the sideline.
It's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and it's going to be another touchdown for the Mustangs. Getting in there was Alan Chavez.
Yeah, great play call there. On about the 2-yard line, they run it straight up the middle and they have everyone, the defense looking at all the other running backs and all the other people in motion that they just went straight up the middle with it.
That's what's so hard about this slot T defense, and offense rather. Not a lot of people run this style of offense, so it's unique, and it's so hard to defend. You got to be so disciplined. You got to take a thought of 3 different running backs, like you said there, as they pitch it here. As they go for 2. Great tackle there, grabbing onto his foot and not allowing anything there. So the 2-point conversion's no good as Braden Dunkerson makes the stop. And here's the touchdown play. You see it here on the instant replay. There was 3 different options there for Olivas, and he gives it to the guy there, the perfect guy, because he gets in for the score.
Right, all you needed was 2 yards on that play, and you have everyone motioning around. You're taking the eyes off of different defenders, and ultimately just all you needed was 2 yards, and that's exactly what they got.
You see the Lubbock High kickoff return team already out there on the field. They're ready and waiting to get back out there on offense.
Right, they're trying to get some momentum going their way so they can put some points up on the board, any points, to get some momentum and just ultimately get on that scoreboard.
I was listening to an interview here in town, and I believe it was Hub City Preps with Randy Rosetta right over there with Coach Rod. And Coach Rod talked to him about the next play is the most important play. And I think that's probably got to be the mindset of these guys right now after getting down into a 12-0 hole.
Right, no matter what the score is, no matter what you did last play, no matter if it was good or bad, you just got to go on to the next one, make the next one count.
So here's the kickoff return. You see DJ Jones back deep. And this is a unique style of kick here, right? It's the old school style that Jeff Coates does. He walks up to it and kicks it straight on. It's not the soccer style of kick, as they do run a reverse to Jones. He's got a lot of space in front of him, and he's going to get tackled at about the 36-yard line. I love some special team design plays, and we saw it there.
Right, you don't typically see that, but it looked like the first guy that caught it, who was it, Tyreek Cook?
Mm-hmm.
He caught it and actually flipped it to DJ Jones, actually, to cause some misdirection, and ultimately got him a few more yards than they could maybe not have gotten.
So Zeph Barella checking back into the game. Love to see that number 32 is back there out on the field. He's checking in as a wide receiver here. You see him lined up right at the hash mark. Going to the air is Trevino. A one-on-one battle there, and slightly overthrown, will fall incomplete.
That was a wild formation there.
It's a unique formation. I like it, though, because similar to the other offense, it's got you looking at a few different places, and it was a one-on-one matchup on the far side of the field that if you're able to connect, it's a home run.
Right, and it looked like it actually looked like a screenplay back there, a guy behind there, so that also drew some conclusion there.
Barella breaking away from a tackle, sidestepping a guy, going to cut here to the sidelines. He's doing something special again. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. He averaged 15 yards a carry in their last game, and that was well over his average.
Right, and that was great ball carrier vision there. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage, actually, and just kept avoiding defenders and seeing the open green grass and kept running until he eventually got caught.
Absolutely. And you know what I saw in that play? I saw a couple linemen, the guard and the left tackle, pulling right there on the play. And I love seeing the big guys moving. Throwing the ball away is Trevino, making the right call. He was feeling some immediate pressure on that play, Diego.
Right, and as a freshman quarterback, for him knowing to do that in that crucial first down, not giving up an interception is crucial there. So that was a great decision there by Dallas Trevino.
You see them still working on Zeke Rodriguez. He's in obvious pain right there, and you don't like seeing that for any young man, but he is the captain on that defensive side of the ball, averaging over 12 tackles a game. Going back to the air is Trevino. It fell right in between a couple receivers right there. Of course, there is some dirty laundry on the field. Let's hear from our official. So once again, they're getting the defenders to jump off sides, and that's hard to do for any quarterback, right? It's all about snap count and trying to get them to jump, and Trevino's done a really good job of that today.
Right, and ultimately pulling them off sides puts them in a better spot for a free play there to maybe go for a long shot.
Of course, our timeout is a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. Thank you to them for sponsoring our timeouts. I want to talk about, during this timeout, what's next for us. Of course, tonight is a doubleheader here on YouTube. We have Abilene High coming to take on Monterey. Kickoff for that game is at 8 o'clock tonight. So if you want to see another great game, hang around here on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel and witness another big battle. This time a 5A battle, though, and it's a district contest, which makes it even bigger.
Right, that makes it even bigger, makes everything a little bit more pressure. We'll see how these two teams perform under that pressure.
We see, I'm looking down there on the field, and I see our wireless camera kind of next to it. They're taking Zeke Rodriguez, what will be to the field house on the cart. Positive energy, we're sending that to him right now. DJ Jones on the carry, though, on second down, breaking away from a tackle. Great run by Jones as he gets flipped over as he goes out of bounds. As a guy, this is our third running back we're seeing today. That kind of makes you hold your breath a little bit.
Right, and you saw him almost get tackled there at the 37-yard line, but he ultimately stiff arms him, and he just breaks away from the tackle, giving him that extra space, trying to hurdle the defender there, but was already out of bounds and caused for a nice little backflip.
Week after week, and you see Zeke Rodriguez going into the locker room right there, and a sack on the play. Great stuff by the defense of the Andrews Mustangs.
Right, and we've seen Andrews bring a lot of pressure and pass film, and that's exactly what they did there.
Yeah.
And Dallas just ultimately didn't have anything to do with that. It actually looked like he was going to scramble.
Yeah, he got lit up like a Christmas tree right there. That was Caden Mendoza really getting the pop on him right there. It's going to be second down and 16. It's going to be another flag as the Westerners get nothing on that play. I think it's going to be another offsides on Andrews.
Right, they keep getting them there. And that was completed to the ball carrier, Derek Torres, there as the screen pass.
Let's hear from our officiating crew. Okay, so it didn't go against the Mustangs. It went against the Westerners, and that's going to back them up even more. Okay, and you know what? That's probably the right call for the Mustangs, right? You'd rather not have to replay another down and give this Westerner offense that has a lot of weapons, and if they're able to connect on the passes downfield, they could be dangerous. And so it's going to be a loss of down, 3rd and 16.
Right, third and long. Looks like the Westerners.
It's going to be the end of the first quarter. Man, that zoomed by. 12-0. Andrews on top of Lubbock High in this 4 o'clock thriller of a game. I'm excited to see it continue on. But we'll be back with more right after this. Second quarter action coming your way on presented by Lubbock ISD-TV.
What is Highlights? It's your weekly look at the innovative teaching, unique opportunities, fantastic community partners, and so much more happening in Lubbock ISD. Join us at 8, noon, 6, or 10 o'clock on Lubbock ISD-TV or watch on demand anytime at LubbockISDTV.com. Highlights, featuring the great opportunities only in Lubbock ISD.
You know, Diego, moments ago we were talking about a back-to-back game coming your way here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. Of course, it's Monterey hosting Abilene. But after this play, I'm going to get into it. Have you ever wondered who cleans the field? As Trevino just has to throw it out of bounds. Have you ever wondered, or not the field, the stands. Have you ever wondered who cleans the stands in between games?
Yes, I honestly don't know.
You really don't?
I don't.
I know you read the game notes.
I did, but
you're just letting me go on it?
Yes.
Well, so it's the band. It's the Lubbock High band that will clean the game, but it's whoever is the home team cleans up the messes. And so it's a fundraiser for for those programs, and I think it's really cool because instead of hiring work, this gives our students a chance to help fundraise for their programs. And I'm going to say our line, you love to see it, and there's our band. So you'll see them right after the game, Diego. They'll wait for the fans to leave, and then they get these massive trash bags, and they just make a massive sweep through the stadium, and like nothing, it's clean.
Yeah, you love to see it, just everyone getting in on it, because not 3 people can do it at once.
We do have a timeout on the field. It's a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. It is 4th and 16, and this is a big timeout here for the Westerners. They've been driving down the field, Diego, nickeling and diming their way down the field, and being down 12-0, you're feeling like this is a prime opportunity for the team, and they need to capitalize on something.
Right, you want to get some points on the board here, start some momentum up. Ultimately, just get everybody some more confidence and get them some momentum. Everybody plays better when there's confidence and when there's a lead, and ultimately that's exactly what they want.
So here comes this Lubbock High offense. You know, they said that we might see 2 different quarterbacks. We haven't quite seen Reyna yet.
Right, we've seen the freshman Dallas Trevino for all of the snaps. Well, most of them, because Zeph was lined up as a
quarterback
for one play, the first play of the game.
So here's a field goal opportunity for the Lubbock High Westerners. Of course, with the honors for kicking the field goal is Yael Ontiveros. He's been a staple of this team for quite some time. The 45-yard kick, it's an end-over-end kick. Went right and just a little low, so it's going to be no good. I like that, though, right?
Right.
Ontiveros has proven for the last couple years as he's been the kicker on this team that he's been able to knock down some kicks, and I like that you saw him trotting out there giving it a shot.
Right, and ultimately, like we said, you want to get points up there, and that was a great try there. Everyone calls him Yaya.
Is that what they call him?
That Yaya, and he also plays soccer as well, so that's also normal to see a kicker also play 2 sports and being soccer.
And we saw Coach Vaughn out here supporting his guy, and that's pretty cool to see. So back comes this offense. Breaking away from 1 tackle and needing multiple Westerners to take him down there. You know, this style of play that the Mustangs run, it's either 2 yards or 50 yards, right? And they're going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball until they rock you to sleep, and then they're going to try to go over the top and throw it.
Right, and as you mentioned, they only had 4 pass plays last game. 2 of them were resulting in home run plays, big plays. And I spoke to Coach Rod on the big plays, and he actually told me that they are 8 big plays away from being 4-0. So you think they're working on that. Watch film to avoid the big play here.
And you're talking about Lubbock High, right? Being
Lubbock High.
8 plays away from being 4-0?
Lubbock High.
I love that you went to that luncheon, man. It's really cool. And, you know, you got to speak with a lot of media personnel. You got to network with a lot of people, and possibly in your future some job opportunities as you spoke with some people.
Hopefully. I'm hoping to get into this some more. Keep going.
So looking at some of our stats through the first quarter, thank you again to our Lubbock ISD stat crew up here, as it's going to be a pitch here on 3rd down. It's a 1st down and more, tackled at about the 48-yard line. Through the first quarter, of course, we're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Andrews had 8 rushes for 124 yards. Lubbock High had 10 rushes for 78 yards. The Westerners have more first downs than Andrews does and have eaten up more of the time of possession, but it's Andrews making the plays when they need them, right? And it was an interception across the middle that stalled out a drive for Lubbock High. But this Mustang offense is 2 for 2 on its drives.
Right, and they using that run-heavy offense here. And it's obviously working here. They got 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns, while the Westerners have had 3 drives and have come up empty. You see the stop there. Of course, that was Xavier Ramirez on the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. And I love this. You see the team breaking out of their huddle. The center's already ready to go. The center knows the play.
Right, and that also helps them.
Oh, great handoff there. Sorry to cut you off.
It's all good. That was a great play there, great play call. But as I was saying, the center's there already, and that helps with the hurry-up offense, making the defense make a decision on the spot. And also, like, if you're not mentally ready and if you're not mentally prepared to get hurried up, that could also affect you.
So that was Jayshawn DeBose on the carry, of course, the guy that we previewed, talking about how he's got all these different people looking at him. They got a lot of Division I interests. And so 38's a guy that we'll see getting the ball a lot. As they go back to him here, it's a great handoff. And he sidestepped a defender. That was impressive, Diego, and he's going to get the first down.
Right, it looked like he had nowhere to go there, but just absolutely just kept his feet moving and stayed quick, stayed low, and juked the defender out.
He did the Cupid shuffle, and the Westerner hit the ground there.
Right, that was a great football move there. Great vision as well to know where he was and that he had time to do that juke.
And he's feeling it a little bit too. Of course, it is in the 90s here today here in Lubbock. There is a breeze coming out of the south heading north, but that breeze, when you're on the turf, you feel it, but it's still hot.
Right, and it's more of a hot breeze because of all the heat rising on the turf.
Absolutely. Great tackle there, and it's the Westerners that have the ball. Was it a fumble? I think it was. And the Westerners come up with a big turnover when they needed it, because the Mustangs were driving and they were getting pretty close to the red zone.
Right, Braden Dunkerson ultimately came up with the ball, and it looks like it will be Westerner ball there.
You know, I talked to Braden Dunkerson. He's in our program. Can't remember what class period he's in, but I know he's a part of Lubbock ISD-TV. Here's a look at that instant replay. Yeah, it was the helmet of Garza that caused that fumble. And, of course, Dunkerson scooped it up. And this new life for this Lubbock High offense, because if they get something going here, Uncle Momo will be on their side. And, of course, that's Uncle Momentum.
Right, and that's exactly what they need here going into the second quarter. In the second quarter, they need some momentum here. Maybe score on this drive, get some points on the board. And we've been talking about momentum for the whole broadcast now. They definitely need to be on their side here.
Yeah, Andrews has had it since the start. Of course, it was that kickoff that was muffed. And then Lubbock High was at the 2-yard line to get the things rolling, and they couldn't get anything going on their first drive.
Right, and we were talking about Andrews being 2 for 2 on drives. This could be the momentum starter here, takeaway.
Now they're 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
Yeah. Of course, in baseball terms, that's a pretty good. You're batting pretty nice for 2 for 3.
You're a Hall of Famer there.
It's going to be a handoff to Jones, and Jones getting slung to the ground, and immediately flexing on the play was Juan Hernandez.
Right, that was a great play. He read it right, got past his blocker, just a speed move there. As we see, take a look on the instant replay. Just ultimately got to him. Past his blocker, just pulled him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's a 3-year letterman for this Andrews team. I do want to say, while we're live here on YouTube, you're watching this and you're thinking, this is awesome. Share it with your friends. You know, in the world we live in, there's so many fake links out there that say, watch here, watch here. Well, this is actually legit. Spread the word, and let's get some awesome people tuning in tonight. DJ Jones with the catch and the first down. Great pass there by Trevino.
Right, and you saw Trevino actually motion him in the instant replay to keep going so he could give him a nice little pass over the defender, as you saw it there.
That's yeah, you don't think you see that very often from a freshman, right? Because they're not used to playing at this high of a level. But Trevino, cool, calm, collected, telling his guys where to go and directing them to a great pass.
Right, and it was also a good call there on the receiver, DJ Jones, to ultimately trust his quarterback to lead him into that gain there.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 8. I'm over here watching Coach Rod on the sideline. Of course, he's in his 2nd season leading the Westerners, and he's a guy that brings the energy. He's the juice, right? But he's over there by himself right now, kind of off to the side, watching his coaches do their thing on the offensive side of the ball.
Right, and at that luncheon, he actually said that Emilio Garcia and Matthew Garcia, which is the father and son duo coaching, they actually call most of the plays in that he just kind of observes it and gives them suggestions.
Great insight there by Diego, and a great first down for the Westerners as they're now in Mustang territory. DJ Jones with the carry.
We see a lot of carries going to DJ Jones, and he keeps getting yards. Whether it's receiving or whether it's rushing here, they keep going to him.
And it was the little stutter step there, you know, that was able to give him enough time to let the hole get there and let the play develop for him. The ball on the ground, Trevino just has to fall on it there.
That was good, knowing where he was, knowing he just had to fall on it to keep the ball there. Don't want to kill the momentum.
Juan Hernandez was right on top of him right there, and you just got to fall on it.
Right, and you saw Juan Hernandez just get there.
Yeah, it was the high snap, and there was zero time. Otherwise, Hernandez would have done what he did last week, which was a scoop and score.
He's just such an impactful player for the Mustangs. He's there in the backfield every time, and he can also play some coverage at the linebacker spot.
Going to the air is Trevino, trying to go over the top. A one-on-one battle, and it's Trinity Harina with it. He's going to score. 10-6. Touchdown, Westerners. They cut into the lead.
Great concentration there with the defender in his face and him being 5'5". He just had it right there in his hands and made the spin move to get away from the corner.
I love they keep going after these one-on-one matchups. This time it paid off, and it's the hands of Trinity Harina and then the speed to finish it off. Great stuff there.
Right, and that's exactly what the Westerners needed there. They needed to get on the board here to keep the momentum going. Hopefully they can get a stop on this next drive for the Mustangs.
Here's the extra point opportunity by Ontiveros. That kick is up and good. When you find success, you want to stack on it. The Westerners were able to do it. They get the interception, and then they stack success after an efficient drive to score their first points of the game.
Right, and it was just a big play that got them there. And it was just the little plays that actually made it up. They were a little run heavy there and ultimately went over the top when they weren't expecting it, when it was one-on-one with their guy.
Yeah, and I loved what they did there. Like you said, they ran the ball, they established some dominance at the line of scrimmage, and then they see a one-on-one matchup at that opposite end with Trini there. Of course, Trini, he's been a staple of this offense for quite some time, and it's because of how fast he is and how great he is at catching the football.
Right, he has great concentration and has that breakaway speed to get you 6 every time.
I like it. Give him 6. And we want to thank everybody again for tuning in tonight. I look across, and I'm looking outside right now. We have a student on all of our cameras, and we thank them for coming and working with us right after school. Like, the bell didn't even ring yet, and we had to bring them out here because we have a 4 o'clock football game.
Right, 4 o'clock game. School gets out at 4, and they're here, and that's just awesome. And it's also hot here for the students on the cameras. We just appreciate them coming out here.
Yeah, the Boy Scout in me and the parent in me is wanting to bring them a water bottle right now because I know it's hot.
Yeah, it's definitely hot out there.
So here comes the kickoff team for the first time tonight for the Lubbock High Westerners. You see Trini there on the sideline celebrating with his guys. Positive energy down there on that Lubbock High sideline, and when there's some positives happening, right, something special could happen. Here comes the Mustangs. Oh, a great seam there and a great return. Ontiveros was the last man standing there, and if he didn't make the stop, Jet Fisher would have been gone.
Right, and he had the speed right away, read the field, and wanted to get into that, and ultimately didn't get past midfield because Yaya actually made the play there. Without him there, I think he's over there instead of green grass, he's in the blue over there in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great return. Special teams seems to be a trend with me and you up here in the booth. The special teams units come out and making them plays.
Right, we saw it in the Estacado game last week. D. Green actually had a return.
DeAndre Green. Of course, the Matadors fell last night. It was a great battle between the clash of two Titans. West Plains took down Estacado. Estacado, they were playing back and forth for 40 minutes, but it was the last 8 minutes is where West Plains separated themselves and were able to get the win. But I loved what Coach said after the game. You'd rather stumble now, right, learn from it, instead of stumbling in like week 9 or 10 or even week 12, and that could end your season.
And that was a ranked-on-ranked matchup there, correct?
I believe West Plains is like ranked 13th in 4A D2. And so, yeah, one play moved the chains for the Mustangs right there. Yeah, that was the game of the week though. That matchup last night here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park, and of course this is the 4 o'clock game of the week for the entire state is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is doing it like Lowry Field. They got to share. Of course, they share the field with 4 Lubbock ISD teams. The 4 Lubbock ISD teams. So.
Well, and last week was kind of weird. We only had 1 game here last week with Estacado while everybody else was on the road. And then this week we got 3 home games. And so it's kind of a, kind of a weird week, but I like it because more action for us here at home.
Right, more action and also better opportunities for students to get out here.
Look at you. What a great transition and bridge right there, huh?
Got you, Coach. Got you, Mr. Ward.
I'll call me Coach. That'd be an honor for me right there. It's going to be a keeper there for the quarterback, gaining maybe a yard on the play, and a flag comes flying in. And so I hear we have a great sideline report coming our way with our sideline reporter, Dominic Martinez. He's a senior from Lubbock High. Dom, take it away.
For a Lubbock High game, and always helping. It's been an incredible experience helping out the students and, of course, what they're interested in.
You know, that's what I like about football games. It's, we come out here to cheer on our football players, but there's all these different groups that have to come together to make this an event. We have our student trainers, we have cheer, we have Rough Riders, we have Palm, all these great parents, and it's just a great sight to see, and it's always fun to come watch the Lubbock High Westerners play football.
All right, we're back underway. Thanks so much, Dom, for that great interview. On the roll is Mustangs. Diving for the pylon. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown. Mustangs. Aiden Olivas scampering in for the score.
He used his legs there to get 6 there. He was all the way back there, almost to the 20-yard line. And he almost got taken down, but he used his legs to get into the end zone.
That was the I formation right there, and Lubbock High got some pressure on him. Like you said, he was at the 20-yard line. And, for a team that's normally running the spread, this new style of offense that they're running, it takes a lot of time and a lot of reps to be able to master it. But Olivas here looks like he's doing a great job of being able to manage these play calls and this system.
Right, and you got to tip your hat.
Oh, and that's I think that's going to be a false start. We're going to hear from our official.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still on time down.
All right, so it's going to back him up 5 yards. So it's the 2-point conversion is going to happen at about the 8-yard line.
And we see the center always going up. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, we're going to watch it right here. And as you say that, they're all in the huddle here, waiting to get this play call. I love it. This is old school kind of stuff, right? You have a player that goes to the sideline, gets the play, runs it into the huddle, and then they all break out together.
Right, and that tends to avoid miscommunication.
Oh, and it's DeBose cutting it back up, almost fumbling the ball, but he keeps it, and the 2-point conversion is good.
That kind of reminded me of like a hop step in basketball. He kind of just brought it over the defender.
Is that a Euro step?
Yeah. When you bring the ball over, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yes.
If we had a camera in the booth, y'all would be laughing at what Diego was doing there. Yeah, you see him kind of lose it there. But DeBose puts it in for the 2-point conversion and extends the Mustangs' lead. It's now 20-7.
Right. You can see that he is one of the captains on that team, one of the better motivators on that team. He gets everyone going. He gets everyone excited to go.
See the atmosphere out here. You saw that wide angle shot. We call that the beauty shot here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. And then you see Coach Rod, and I'm a big fan of Coach Rod. He's so generous with our students. He's such a great man, and he's leading these young men at Lubbock High, and he's molding them into great men. And then that's what I love about coaches, and the game of football is about. It's kind of like life out there playing out on the field, right? When adversity happens, it's going to happen in life. How do you man up and deal with it? And Coach Rod is growing young men out there.
Right, everybody loves Coach Rod over there. When we go to Chapman, that's our field house for the weights and stuff, track. Mm-hmm. Everybody says hi to Coach Rod. Coach Rod says hi to everybody.
And I bet he knows everybody.
He knows everybody, everyone's name.
And that's a 5A school right there, and he knows everybody.
He knows everybody's name in the program, every program, and everyone looks forward to seeing him because he motivates you.
We have a Mustang down on the field, and it looks like they're in a lot of pain. Going back to, let's talk about some fun things. I love talking about fun things on the broadcast. Did you know for Andrews, the Mustangs have been a program that's seen a lot of big-time wins in their history. They have 14 by-district championships in the last 18 years. That's a lot of gold trophies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, the Mustangs from the 4-3-2 have had a lot of success for a long time now, and they play at a beautiful venue. Ooh, and you see the tackle there. That did not look good. And of course, that is multiple tackles that have happened today that have not looked good. Of course, if you look down on the field, if we could take a wide shot real quick, you see both teams getting down, gathering on respective sides of the field. And from up here, it looks like they're praying for that young man.
Right, we saw Andrews do that for Zeke Rodriguez when he went down.
Oh, and the cart's coming in. Oh, and this is the second time that the cart has had to be used tonight. Of course, Zeke Rodriguez in the first quarter had to be taken to the field house, and we don't like this at all.
No.
We don't like this at all. We're going to take a quick timeout. Stay with us. We'll be right back as they tend to this Andrews Mustang. You're watching Lubbock ISD football presented by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD-TV. All right, we are back here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. They just carted the young man off of the field. He is heading straight to the field house. From what I saw, it looked like number 8. I would take that with a grain of salt. We couldn't quite see the number from up here, but the Mustang from Andrews is headed to the locker room, and man, that is tough to see. We're back at it once again. It's a handoff for the Westerners, and of course, I think that was Zeph Barella back in the game.
Yes, that was Zeph Barella back in the game, and you like to see that as if you're a Lubbock High Westerner coach. You like to see your starting running back getting back out there, getting some reps there, getting some handoffs.
So our producer in the truck just confirmed, just told us the number of the Mustang, and it was number 9, Caden Mendoza. Mendoza is heading straight to the locker room after that tough play, and we saw the instant replay of it, and it did not look good straight from the tackle. He was tackled weird and landed really weird. If you've seen the show Ridiculousness, that's kind of what I saw was the logo from that show.
Yeah, seriously.
And that is so tough.
Yes, it's tough to see that.
So we had a turnover right there on the play, and we're going to take a look at the instant replay. Losing the ball after getting hit, and that ball staying right there in bounds. The Mustangs were able to scoop it up. Of course, that was Iverson that scooped that ball up. Fumbling was Derek Torres, and That's the first time we've seen Torres today, right?
I think, yes, it is
Yeah,
actually.
it is the first time we've seen Torres.
And that ball looked like it just stayed. Maybe if it was like an inch to the right, that might have been.
It would have been out of bounds.
Right.
And the Westerners would still have the ball, but back come the Mustang offense and this slot T. And they're quick to get back out there, and Coach Rod's going to have to call a timeout. They were missing a player out there. So, of course, all of our timeouts are presented by UMC Children's Hospital. We thank them for sponsoring us. Of course, last week we had Chick-fil-A sponsoring our food, and we thank them for feeding our crew. So we played Did You Know moments ago for Andrews, and since we have a timeout, you want to play it again for Lubbock High?
Let's do it.
Okay, did you know the Westerners have won 3 state championships in football? You probably knew that.
I did know that.
The years that they won was 1939, 1951, and 1952. In the 51 and 52 seasons, the Westerners won a total of 26 games in a row, and possibly more in that 53 season. But what an impressive stretch of football for Lubbock High with some big-time talent on that roster. I think E.J. Holub was on that team back in the day. Of course, he went on to play with the Red Raiders and then the Green Bay Packers, and that was a fun run for the Lubbock High Westerners.
Right, that's when I think it was only one high school in Lubbock was Lubbock High School, right?
Sounds about right.
So that's when all the athletes.
The entire talent pool of Lubbock was feeding into Lubbock High. Is what the point you're getting to?
Yes. All the athletes went to Lubbock High. And just, could you imagine if there was one high school in Lubbock, how much talent would be on that team?
It would be, you would need a multi-story high school. I know that because there would be a ton of students. But I see what you're saying there, yeah, because spread across 3 or 4 different high schools as that pass goes incomplete. They were trying to throw it for the second time tonight. There was Andrews. But going back to our conversation there, could you imagine Bobby Ross and Cedric and, all the talent that Monterey has on Coronado all in one team? That would be insane.
That would be crazy, and I know that the school would also be humongous.
Yeah, it would. If it was all still at Lubbock High, they would have to expand, and I could only imagine how big that would be.
Yeah, possibly rebuild, honestly.
No, that place is too historic. You can't. They would just have to add on like they did with the cafeteria.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, back to it, and that's DeBose there on the carry on the 2nd and 10. Make it 3rd and about 6.
You see him getting a lot of the handoffs now. He's been able to find the open field and been able to get into that blue turf a lot. So why not keep giving it to him?
Yeah, no, he's had a really good game. He's been able to follow his blockers really well, and you see it's one of those moments when the holes open up for him. He plants his foot and just has a burst of speed, and that's something that you can't coach. That if they could coach it, I would be fast, and I'm not fast.
Right, and that's just truly special that he has that burst of speed.
As DeBose gets the ball here, great stop by that Lubbock High defense. They needed that, and they got it.
Right, and you saw that all the quarterback and what was it? I think it was the
2 other halfbacks.
The 2 other halfbacks, yes, the 2 other halfbacks actually all went to the Andrews sideline, while they handed that up the middle, making it look like they were going to the left side there, but it was a great play by the Western defense, knowing exactly who had the ball there.
It's all about deception. That's what this style of play is. Midland runs this style of offense, and it's been effective at the 6A level. And you're seeing Andrews, using it here, and clearly it's been effective for them as they're 2-2 on the season and looking really good here tonight.
Right, and I remember, actually, my grandpa took me to a Roosevelt and Abernathy game, and they both ran this style of.
Oh, it's definitely Roosevelt that
Roosevelt,
ran that.
yes.
That was the year that Roosevelt made it to the state semifinals and had themselves a great run. Of course, this is a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. We've got 1:31 to go here in the first half, and I'll tell you what, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a first half, and I think it's been that way just because of the injuries that we've seen. And 2 young men have been carted off the field here, and it's been really hard to see that.
Right, and I know the teammates are playing for their respective teammates that have been carted off there, and they're playing for something bigger than just football now.
Absolutely. You're playing for your brother, the guy that you've gone to battle with the first 4 weeks and getting ready for week 5 here tonight. If we get an update on those 2 players, we'll definitely give it to you. But, man, that is so hard to see.
Right, and especially for your teammates, the coaches, everybody. Honestly, everybody in the stadium Really, no one likes to see that.
It goes silent in those moments, and it's out of respect for those players because you know they've put in the work.
Right.
You just get a knot in your stomach is what it is. I got a knot in my stomach.
Exactly.
So here's 4th and 4. Lubbock High needs to stop here as this Andrews team is driving down the field. Ooh, you love the hat.
Hey,
that's pretty cool.
Hey, that's my best friend, Misael, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be a handoff to DeBose, trying to hit this corner. He's going to get the first down and more. Tackled at about the 15-yard line. Move the chains.
It's hard to bring him down when he gets going. As you mentioned, that burst of speed is what changes it, is what sets that difference. He just sees the field well, gets away from the defender there, and just ultimately gets more yards than he should.
I love, and we need to talk about that receiver there. That was lead blocking for him right there. Because when you play receiver in this style of offense, you're committed to blocking.
Right.
They have 9 people with their hand in the turf on this play. DeBose getting tackled though after a gain of maybe half a yard. You saw those gold helmets flying right there to make that play.
Right. Everybody was all around that play to stop it there.
All right, as you see, Lubbock High taking their 3rd and final timeout, of course. We're going to get our graphic here. All of our timeouts are presented by UMC Children's Hospital. Band Extravaganza is coming your way, and you want your face in the place, and that's something to look forward to. The 40th year that Lubbock ISD will have their Band Extravaganza, and you got to be here. Fans of music will gather to see over 1,200 students from across Lubbock ISD for a musical adventure. Last year, it was standing room only, so make sure you get your ticket right away. We talked to Andrew Babcock, the Fine Arts Director for Lubbock ISD. He says there's still tickets available and even a VIP experience if you're interested in that. So make sure you get your tickets, and if you can't come, you're missing out, but there's still an opportunity, and that's because we'll be streaming right here on YouTube. So again, that gets started on Tuesday, September 26th. I think we're getting our stream started at 7, and things get rolling at 7:30. So, hey, and we got confirmation that is correct. So the stream will start at 7. Things will really get rolling at 7:30. That's Tuesday, September 26th. Band Extravaganza. Are you a band guy?
No, yeah, I used to play, honestly. I used to play the saxophone.
Really?
Used to play the saxophone.
You know what I told my mom? She was like, I bought you that really nice French horn you don't play anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but if I played the saxophone, I think I'd still be playing. I just love the way the saxophone sounds.
Oh, it's great. Honestly, what got me into it was my grandpa. He listened to a lot of jazz.
Yeah.
And I heard the saxophone a lot, and I loved it. So I was like, man, let's do it. In my 6th grade year, 6th grade, I loved it.
That's awesome. All right, 55 seconds to go. It's going to be DeBose trying to hit that corner. And Lubbock High going to back him up a little bit. It's going to be a loss on the play. You know, they're trying to play sideline to sideline right there, and the defense for Lubbock High read that.
Right, and we saw it looked like the defensive end there, Liam Lehman, actually forced him to go take a wider angle to try and get past them, and then the corner there
came. Joe Rosendo.
The safety, Joe Rosendo, actually forced him out of bounds.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 12. When he went out of bounds, it stopped the clock, and that helped out Andrews a lot because they're out of timeouts. It's going to be a handoff to DeBose again. And, man, he is special. Diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. What a run by DeBose, and that extends their lead.
Great run there. Great body control, being able to go one way and just move your body to make a play on the field and ultimately get 6 for your team.
Yeah, that was a great cut right there to cut back inside and to be able to bypass the defender for Lubbock High. And so, once again, they're going for that 2-point conversion. They tried it on their first touchdown, and it was blocked by Lubbock High, and they're going to get it. It's going to be 28-7 after they capitalize on that 2-point conversion.
And we talked about it in the preview. They're run heavy. Andrews is run heavy, and they have shown it here. I think they've only tried for 1 pass, right, from the second play of the game?
No, they've had 2. They tried to pass the ball 2 times, and Lubbock High was able to stop them both times, but it was because they were able to get pressure on the quarterback.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But you know what Andrews has done here in the first half? They showed that they're physical, that they're tough, and that they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Right, they've showed dominance there at the line of scrimmage. The O-line is doing a great job just going with the play call and understanding what it is and just going with it, blocking their guys And that's why all this is happening. Their own line is opening up a lot of gaps for the running backs. And honestly, sometimes the tackles on the line might be faking out the defensive ends to make them think they're going that way, but really going up the middle.
We need to look for that in the second half. Speaking of the second half, we have a halftime show coming our way before we get to the second half. And we have a bunch of original content produced by Lubbock ISD TV. Of course, we have highlights where we highlight all the great things happening across our district. We have a volleyball report because our volleyball teams have been serving up some aces, as we say, on the volleyball report. So I'm excited to see all the great things we have coming your way during halftime. But before then, Lubbock High is going to have another chance with the football, and they want to get something positive going as they're getting ready to go into the break.
Right, with 41 seconds to go in the second quarter, going into half, you want to get some momentum going into the locker room for half, and you want to be able to say something positive here, like, okay, we just drove down the field on them here. Let's keep it going, keep building on top of the success.
So here we are, 28-7, 41 seconds to go here in the half. And I think this game for Andrews has been everything that we kind of expected for the Mustangs, right? Run the football and play defense, and they've done that tonight. Of course, Lubbock High's had some opportunities. You know, in the pregame, you talked about that there were 8 plays away from being 4-0. Lubbock High is. I think they're a few plays away here on some big breakaway plays where this game would have a much different feel scoreboard-wise.
Right,
as
I agree
Trevino's
with you.
going to the air. He's going to tuck it and run. He's got a one-on-one matchup with the linebacker, and he'll do the right thing and step out of bounds and kill the clock.
Right, that was a good job by the freshman quarterback, Dallas Trevino, to know exactly how much time he has, be aware of who he's going against, as that was the linebacker, and just step out of bounds, keep himself out of the injury. What am I trying to say? From getting hurt. Keep him out of stuff from getting hurt.
The injury report.
Yes.
Here's Trevino looking across the middle, feeling some pressure, and he's going to lose the football. The Westerners are going to recover it. It's Lucas White that swallows the ball up, but there's another Westerner down on the field. Man, the injury bug is here tonight, and we don't like it. Here's the instant replay of it, though. Trevino feeling some pressure from the backside of him right there, and, of course, getting to get credit for the sacks, Juan Hernandez. What'd you see there on that one, Diego? I heard you gasp.
Yeah, it looked like while the defender was going to get the quarterback, Dallas Trevino, the offensive lineman was kind of just standing there, and he just got in the middle of it. It looked like his leg got wrapped up in the tackle. Didn't look good.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things about being an offensive lineman. That's when you're battling in the trenches week in and week out, that's where the injuries can happen, you know, and it's the legs that get bit most of the time.
Right, and you don't like to see anyone down like that, and especially that's 3 now in the half. Hopefully he can stand up, walk with his own will here.
You see the fans of the Westerners holding up their Lubbock High L's. And, you know, I'm a big hand sign guy. I love that. That's part of Texas, right? That's our thing here in the state. All the colleges have their own hand sign. For Monterey, they hold up their Victory V's. For Coronado, they hold up the C. And then Estacado, they have a few of them that I've seen them roll out. That I like the one where they have like the thumb and the middle finger and the index finger making an E. But it's all about showing support and unity, and I don't want to say you love to see it, but you love to see it.
Right. Everyone's got their back.
That's our crutch word. That's our crutch
it.
word. We've been saying that a lot. But you see him grabbing his arm there and holding it as he walks off the sideline. And with 18 seconds to go, we had a pause for an injury. And again, once again, like we were talking about moments ago, the stadium just goes dead quiet during those moments. And again, it's out of respect for the player. And I got a knot in my stomach, man. That's a third one.
Right, and it's just no one likes to see that, because you know all the practice they've gone through and all the hard work that has gone into this team just to come to a little halt, and it looked like he was walking off under his own power. So.
Yeah, and he was holding his arm. It didn't look like it was a leg injury. He was holding his arm. So here's Trevino here on third down. Throwing it off to Zeph Barella, and he catches it. He needs to step out of bounds, and he does, and that's a late hit, and that's an extra 15.
Yeah, that was a late hit there, but it was a great catch.
An amazing catch. Look at this instant replay here. I think he caught it with one hand.
One hand. Yeah, actually tipped it to himself, it looked like. Yeah, caught it on one hand.
And after that late hit, he is down on the sideline.
Yeah, Zeph is down. He hasn't gotten up yet.
He is not. The training staff and coach are hovering over him right there. Because, man, he got lit up like a Christmas tree.
Wasn't expecting it. He was out of bounds.
He was making the right move of stepping out of bounds. And the defender got up under his shoulder pad and lifted him up there as he landed on his other shoulder. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 44, 10 seconds to go. Offsides, that's a free play. Trevino's just going to slide down. That's a big brain move right there by the freshman quarterback because you just gained the 5 yards, and if he would have tried to done something downfield, it was eating the clock.
Right, that was a great awareness there by Dallas Trevino as he just ultimately came down. Didn't eat up any more clock than he needed to.
So you got to think they're going to try to go after number 3 here, right? He's been your home run threat, and of course that's Trenny Tijerina.
And he's also got the speed.
Yeah, and he's on the top of your screen here. He's the one standing on the backside of the 40-yard line. Trevino looking his way, looking around and surveying, throwing it. Oh, almost, that was right there for Coleman. Goes in and out of his hands, and that's how we're going to end the break in the first half, 28-7.
Right, that was a good look there. Just ultimately looked like it might have been out of his reach there. That would have been a touchdown there if he could have hauled it in.
Right, so 28-7 is our score as we go into the break. Once again, our game plan for halftime is locked in, and we'll have highlights from the first half coming up as well. 28-7, your score. Mustangs on top of the Westerners. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hey there, welcome to Lubbock ISD-TV Studios for this week's rendition of the Volleyball Report. I'm Caleb Galbraith, a senior from Lubbock High School. We hope you enjoyed the first half of the Lubbock High Westerners hosting the Andrews Mustangs in their final non-district game of the season. Of course, we had a busy week on the volleyball court, so let's get into it. Our teams have served up some big plays to start district play, and we start with District 4-5A. After beating Monterey this past Friday, the Coronado Mustangs dropped a 3-set battle with Lubbock Cooper and are now sitting at 1-2 in district play. Addison Andrews, Mallory Holdman, and Zakira James continue to shine as they filled the stat sheets. Currently, they're in Abilene right now facing the Eagles in their 4th district contest of the season. Speaking of an Abilene school, they went toe-to-toe with our next team, and that team is Monterey. This week, the Lady Plainsmen fell to the Abilene Wiley Bulldogs to drop their 3rd district contest of the season. But for Coach Lozada, you can tell her team is close and has tons of depth based off the box score of the game. Aniston Greaser, Lonnie Bradley, Maddie Dubree, Bella Champion, and Ari Johnson all had eye-popping stats from their last match. Currently, they're hosting Abilene Cooper at the new box. We wish them the best. Going over to Lubbock High, they had a huge celebration last week, getting their 1st district win of the season, but sadly lost 2 straight to follow. In the recent loss to Abilene High, Coach Leesman's team battled hard against the Eagles, but fell in 3 sets. Sakiri Diaz filled the stat sheets with 8 kills and 8 assists. Emma Boiling, Kaya Garcia, Bella Valdez, and Bailey Literal also had solid performances. Up next for the Lady Westerners is the Bulldogs from Abilene Wiley. First serve for that match is at noon tomorrow at Lubbock High. And so before we look at Estacado, let's dive into the District 4-5A race. Coronado, Lubbock High, and Monterey are all kind of clumped in the 4, 5, and 6 spots. But it is still early in district play, and a lot of things can happen. Now let's look at District 5-4A. District play hasn't started yet for Estacado, but looking at the other teams in their district, specifically their overall record, you gotta think the district race is wide open, and the Lady Mats from the Big E have a chance to do something special. Of course, they're coming off a week where they beat Idalou 3 sets to 2, and have won 2 of their last 3 matches. That's big time. Up next for the Lady Mats is their district opener. First serve against the Lady Maidens from San Angelo Lakeview is at noon tomorrow, out in Lakeview. And finally, the Talkington Lady Warriors are getting ready for a fun-filled week of homecoming activities. Like we said last week, the Lady Warriors celebrate their homecoming at a volleyball game as they look to cut the Olton Mustangs out of the script. But the new news of this week is that they will be having a homecoming dance. We are all excited for the Lady Warriors to walk the red carpet after playing their homecoming match. The homecoming game will take place on Tuesday, September 26th, and will be played at Estacado. And that's your volleyball report for Week 5 of the high school football season. We hope you enjoy the second half of the game. We will be back next week with another volleyball report, and until then, hope you continue to serve up some aces.
Welcome to Highlights. I'm Erin Gregg, joined by our production team of Lubbock ISD TV students. Our district is proud to honor the heritage and culture of all students, and right now we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. At Cavazos Middle School, students and staff took part in a special presentation to mark 16 de septiembre. Let's watch.
I am so excited and honored that we have the privilege to celebrate such an important day.
I am new to Cavazos. I'm the academic dean here, and one of the things that we want to make sure that our students are aware of is our culture. With our population being predominantly Hispanic, we want to bring in those valuable cultural pieces and be culturally relevant. So I think it was super important bringing 16 de septiembre in as one of our pivotal moments in history, but also to kick off our Hispanic Heritage Month.
My favorite part was when the female had a solo and she was hitting all the high notes, and that made my heart warm.
Me gustó mucho cuando cantaron. Cuando cantaron fue muy lindo, representando a México. Me gustó mucho. I love it.
It is amazing to have the partnership and the liaison that we have with our feeder pattern. The fact that we can just call up Mr. Cavazos, and who's also here with us, to be able to call him and say, hey, we're looking to do this. Are you available? And he's like, absolutely. What time do you need me there? And then for Coach Lara, like she's always been a great partner when we were at Wolfforth and coming here to Cavazos. It's been so good to just be able to have someone to call and say, we want to do this for our students. It's important, and it's just as important to them. And so they invest in us as we invest in them.
They made me feel happy because they came here last year and they put a show on for us, that they still care.
Nunca lo había hecho, me gustó. Estuvo muy lindo el escenario, cómo bailaron, me gustó mucho cuando cantaron. Estuvo muy lindo.
I'm hopeful that all of our students, not just our Hispanic students, but all of our students that we serve, that they understand the history of our Hispanic culture. I think it's important for all students to understand every culture that we get to serve. But for our students, I want them to know that it's important to value the people that we walk with and that we talk with and that we learn who they are and where they came from, and to appreciate where they've been, where they're going, and where they're going to be.
Evan Martin is joining us in studio today. Evan is a junior at Lubbock High School, and we are talking about a big accomplishment. So Evan, thanks for joining us.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So tell us about this big news that we're celebrating today about an AP exam.
Yeah, so I got a 5 on my AP art exam for 2D and design, and I guess that's the top score, and I seem to get all the checkpoints and all the perfect scores, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment because you're only one out of 337 people in the world that took this exam that received a perfect score. And I understand that this is different than what people think of as a regular AP exam that you take on a piece of paper. Tell us about how you prepared for the exam.
Yes, ma'am. So the AP art exam is a digital submission. So over the course of the year, you make several art pieces, and then you kind of have to choose the top 5 for your portfolio, and then you show a series of how you made the art and like your progression. So yeah, it's cool.
And tell us about how your experience in art classes here in Lubbock ISD has really prepared you for this.
So I started taking art in middle school at Hutch, and it was really fun. We just experimented with all mediums, and then as I got into high school, I focused more on graphite, which is what one of my portfolio pieces are, and then kind of from there it just took off.
And what did it feel like when you found out you had gotten a perfect score on the exam?
To be honest, when I read it, I didn't really process it. I was just like, oh yeah, I got a 5. I didn't actually read it, so it was cool when other people started like explaining it to me.
That's cool. And what do you think, a lot of times when we have representatives of cool programs like art here, we also like to ask, how do you think that these types of programs benefit students as part of their overall educational experience?
I think it's good to take the focus off of like solely academics, and it lets us to be more creative. I think for me it's important, it's like an outlet instead of being so stressed about IB and just school in general.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we are certainly so proud of you and what you've accomplished as part of your art classes and your artwork here in Lubbock ISD, and so we'll be celebrating you more on social media and other things, and we can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Of course, thank you so much.
Of course. Now let's go on location with Sydney Kim.
Hey everyone, we're on location at Overton Elementary where we have so many special guests here today for Career Day. Let's learn along with some Mustangs and find out more.
We are having our annual career fair, and we're super excited to welcome members of our community from different vocations, everything from chefs, police officers, mailmen, the military's represented, weathermen, weather ladies, all that. So we're super excited to have all them just to share their story with our students.
Awesome, and you have a lot of variety of different occupations here. How did you choose specialties? Because I see you have certain specialty occupation and jobs that might fit your school a little bit more. So how did you choose that?
Yes. Well, we really tried to focus on careers that were through the college route, a 4-year traditional college degree, but also to highlight vocations in our community that either getting a great start at the ATC in different vocations through that, or cooking, welding, all those kind of things, and just to show kids there's lots of options out there. A lot of our students may have an interest in the military, so we really try to foster that. Law enforcement. Anyway, we just really try to give them a wide variety going through different tracks, because we realize that a 4-year college degree is not for every student, it's not for every child, and there are so many options now, especially offered through our vocational programs, and really try to encourage them that they can be anything when they grow up.
My favorite one was the vet because I have 3 dogs at home. One is named Zazu, Zeus, and Ziva.
Who got to speak today?
Mayor Payne.
Mayor Payne, what did you learn about the mayor?
I learned that he grew up in Post.
What's one thing you look forward to learning about, maybe inside or other places you haven't been yet?
Being a farmer and milking cows.
There's a farmer over there. Why is it interesting you to be a farmer?
Because I love milking cows.
We always ask our kids, what's your plan? You know, after graduation, what's your plan? And so we're just trying to start those conversations. It's never too early to be thinking about what you want to be when you grow up and making those plans. And as y'all know, we have classes that start even in middle school that kind of start directing our students' paths. And so really just encouraging them to have those conversations, also our parents to get involved and start just thinking about fostering their children's growth and looking to the future to follow their dreams.
It's so awesome to have so many volunteers come and help out and teach our students about future careers. Speaking of futures, if you're a middle or high school student, on October 2nd at the United Supermarkets Arena, we're going to be hosting our college and career fair. To learn more, go to LubbockISD.org/college. And until our next destination location, it's back to you, Erin.
Alliance Credit Union is a strong partner for our district, and this year they did something pretty sweet. They visited all of our high schools and 2 of our middle schools before classes began to serve ice cream sundaes to staff. We caught up with the team to share more about how they support our staff and students.
I am the Vice President of Community Relations and Financial Education.
Oh my goodness, that covers a lot. So basically, what does that mean if you're doing community and financial literacy?
I get to do all the fun stuff. So I'm out to help the community know who we are and what we do and how we can make a difference in their lives, but also to educate our educators and our students about how to be financially healthy and financial wellness and all those great components.
And what are y'all doing this week? It's kind of more of a teacher appreciation thing this week.
Yes, any opportunity we get to let the teachers know that they are appreciated and what they do isn't easy, and we understand that. And so we love to go out, show them a little bit of love before school starts. We're doing Sunday bars this week and next week as well. So just to say thank you.
What kind of feedback do you get?
You know, I think it's so valuable for us to get to visit before the students come back, because then we can hear what tools and resources do they need throughout the year and how can we help provide those things. And so we have reality fairs and in-class instruction and a gamified learning system and all these things that are free for Lubbock ISD.
That's fantastic. Are y'all scheduled and ready to roll for financial literacy?
Yes, so we have a Dunbar after-school program that we have done for several years, and we're very excited about some possibilities that we may be adding in for this year. And then we already have teachers that have reached out, and throughout the entire school year, we will be at different campuses at different times doing all different styles of teaching. Alliance, we are for people, not profit, and we take that to heart. We really believe in supporting our local community. This is home, and so partnering with Lubbock ISD is just a common sense thing to do, and we love the feedback we get from y'all so that we can help financial literacy spread throughout our counties, and we really appreciate the insight that y'all give us as well.
Thank you again to Alliance Credit Union for all they do for our district. If you would like to become one of our partners, let us know. We can help figure out the best way to support our schools. We also have some campuses that could benefit from a strong business partner. If you know of a local business looking to help, please share our contact information with them. Coming up on the calendar, progress reports will be sent home on Thursday, September 28th. These are for our second 3 weeks grading period. And looking ahead, we want to remind families that we will not have school on Monday, October 9th. This is in recognition of Indigenous Peoples Day. Wolforth Elementary welcomed a new principal this year, but he's been serving our North Lubbock students for several years. Let's get to know more about Principal Cody Brockman.
I'm Cody Brockman, principal at Wolforth Elementary. Most of my LSD career has been here in North Lubbock. And so I know the families, I know the kids, and I know kind of the situation around here in North Lubbock. Back in about 2007, I guess, I was fortunate enough to get a job at Centennial Elementary, and I was elementary PE teacher there for probably about 11 years. I was fortunate enough to get the job at Guadalupe Elementary, assistant principal there, between there and Honey for about a year. And then I was at Guadalupe for about 3 years until they closed, and then I helped open Carmona Harrison. And so being able to open a campus and combine 3 different cultures into one, and now coming into one campus with one culture, I mean, it's, number one, it's a little easier with one campus and one culture, but on the other hand, I think my experiences of working with this community is really going to benefit me well coming into this new position and coming in here to try to help serve the, this community here. They've done some amazing things throughout the last couple of years and in the history of Wolforth, and it's exciting to step in and help be a part of that. I've told a lot of people kind of the success that they've had here, and I said that's all on the kids and the teachers that were here. I'm just coming in, I'm trying to guide them and lead them and continue that success. I mean, just to be a part of being able to build up what's here and move that to Cavazos, and for our kids to continue within this feeder pattern to Cavazos and to Lubbock High. I mean, Lubbock High has a great history of academic success as well, and so just to be able to have our kids to have an opportunity to go from here to move on to Cavazos and up to Lubbock High, I mean, it excites me, and to be able to kind of see them where we see them in elementary to grow throughout the years. I mean, I want to be able to see their progress, not only here at Wolforth, but as they leave here. I want to just kind of keep an eye on them as they go through our feeder pattern to see how they do. There's a buzz within schools on the first day of school, just the excitement, and just to kind of feed off that excitement, to be able to greet the kids and families like as they come in, introduce myself, just to get to know them a little bit, just that first step, and just to be that welcoming face, that welcoming smile, to let them know, hey, we're back here at your second home. We were excited to have you back. Hope you had a great summer, and let's enjoy this school year.
We wish you a great year, Principal Brockman, and we'll introduce you to another new campus leader next week. Have you checked out our new app? It has a lot of updated features to help keep you connected with the district and your students' campus. The new app is free and easy to download. Just search for Lubbock ISD in the App Store or Google Play. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week to highlight more great opportunities only in Lubbock ISD.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD-TV.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angel.
My name is Lily. I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Congratulations to our Talkington School for Young Women Leaders on being named a 2023 Blue Ribbon School. The program shines a spotlight on the best schools in the United States and affirms the hard work of students, educators, families, and communities in creating schools where students thrive. Coronado High School students met to see where they'll be mentoring this semester. It's the first year for this program that will see high school students mentoring future Mustangs at each of their feeder elementary schools. More than 50 students signed up to participate. They'll soon be visiting the 9 elementary campuses that feed into Coronado to support the students and staff in various ways. Overton Elementary welcomed Lubbock Mayor Trey Payne to kick off their career fair. Students heard from the mayor and then they visited several stations to learn about other careers.
My favorite one was the vet because I have 3 dogs at home. I like animals and I like taking care of my animals at home.
Second graders at Honey Elementary learned about the ancient Greeks, and to mark the end of this unit, the students dressed up in togas and celebrated. They tasted some Greek foods like olive oil with bread and olives, plus they played charades to guess different Greek people and places. Community service is a core part of the Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, and the Lady Warriors rolled up their sleeves to boost our community's blood supply. They hosted a blood drive, inviting students and staff to give in the Vitalent mobile donation unit.
So why did the Boston Massacre happen?
At McKenzie Middle School, 8th graders brought history to life. Mr. Jones had students reenact the Boston Massacre to help demonstrate how this conflict paved the way for the American Revolution.
I'm more learning by hands-on, I know a lot of people are too. Them participating and looking at what actually happened and then the propaganda that was put out in the American Revolution, see where that bias might have been and how they can think critically, which like the overarching skill I'm trying to build.
Now you're in the loop with Lubbock ISD.
Hello, my name is Emma. My name is Lily.
My name is Henry.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students.
Learning professional broadcast skills right now.
But we also do a lot more.
We have many student-produced shows
that allow us to grow our video storytelling,
producing,
and hosting skills.
You can check out our work at any time at LubbockISD-TV.com.
Or follow us on your favorite social media platform. We're on Facebook,
Twitter,
or X, or whatever they call it.
Whatever they call it nowadays.
Instagram,
and don't forget Threads.
And of course,
Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
If you like our content, please show us
by hitting that thumbs up button. Even better, share our stories so people can see the great things happening in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Now back to the game.
Welcome back to Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. It was a short halftime break. Don't you agree, Diego?
Yep, really short.
28-7 the score. Mustangs on top of the Westerners. The Westerner band is making their way off the field for their what I would say is their final performance before band extravaganza.
Right, and there's not Friday night lights, or I guess Friday afternoon lights
Friday afternoon lights.
For this, without the band, and the band is very important.
They are. Let's get into some of our highlights from the first half. Of course, it's a lot of Andrews. The Mustangs showed up and showed out early on. Of course, this is a big handoff for a big gain that led to a big score for the Mustangs. They rattled off 2 touchdowns before the Westerners were able to strike back, and it's an interception here for the Mustangs. Their defense really stood tall, and we're limiting the Westerners rather on what they were able to do. Of course, here's a score, and they've had a lot of great running touchdowns, the Mustangs have, and really a big spearheading charge for them has been their quarterback, Olivas, there, as he scores on that run. That made it 20-7. But really, it's been Deshaun DeBose. DeBose has been sensational today.
Right, they're really flexing their muscles there with the run game, and the offensive line really stepping up, being able to make gaps for them to be able to run the ball as much as they have.
Right, and that fumble, that ball kind of just stood there right next to the out of bounds marker, and DeBose scores a few plays later. I believe he has 13 carries, 162 yards. That's impressive. And, of course, he had one for a loss of 3 on the play. So here's your highlights, right? The Westerners kind of feeling a little bit of momentum after that. And this is the touchdown pass that they had to Trini Tijarina. And he showed his hands, he showed his speed, and he showed his great ability. But that's what the Westerners were able to do in the first half, right? That is their lone touchdown. And so here are the stats that you need to know from the first half. 252 rushing yards, 252 total yards for Andrews. They went 0 for 2 in the first half trying to pass the ball. But then if you look on the other side for Lubbock High, they look pretty balanced, right? It's 109 passing and 87 rushing. But to me, the thing that I really circled on my stat sheet is the number of kickoffs and the average gain per play for Andrews. They are averaging 9.3 yards per play, Diego, on the offensive side of the ball. And if you're averaging that, you're moving the ball up and down the field at will.
Right, and especially with all of it being rushing yards, these guys are stepping up, making great plays, using their athletic ability to just find open field and keep going for their team.
They're also using their physicality and their toughness, and those are the things that you work on during the offseason. I know our sideline reporter, Dom, got an interview with head coach right into the halftime break. Let's see what they had to say going into the halftime break and maybe some adjustments they wanted to make. Dom, take it away. Difficulties there with the interview, and we thank Coach Rod for taking the time to talk to Dominic there. Maybe we might have it later on in the show. But going back into some of the stats from the first half, there was 5 kickoffs for Andrews for 215 yards. That really stood out to me. But again, it's the Mustangs showing dominance at the line of scrimmage, and that was the main difference in the first half.
Right, and it shows them with the rushing yards that they have being all of their yards. The offensive line has come up to play, and they've shown their physicality and asserting dominance on the line.
Yeah, Mercutio Saez has been the number 2 option for this offense for Andrews today, and he has 64 yards. And then I'm looking at some more of the stats as well. Aiden Olivas, 23 yards. And then Jeff Fisher had that huge kickoff return that was 40 yards. And, you know, it's those big chunk plays that have killed the Westerners in this first half, as well as injuries. There's been 3 injuries that have really just made this game an interesting one, I want to say, but then at the same time, it's really changed the flow of the game, if that makes sense.
Right, and it's just been momentum switches and momentum killers with this going on here. And honestly, no one wants to see injuries happen because of all the hard work that got them to this point. And it's just tough to see athletes go down like that.
So both teams just ran out onto the field, and we're getting ready for second half action. We thank everybody for watching here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things, you know, that you do on YouTube. Are you liked and subscribed, Diego?
I am liked and subscribed.
Let's go. Of course, we have built a pretty solid channel over the past less than a year. We really started kicking off this channel when Monterey girls basketball started their run last year, and we're at over 1,500 subscribers, and we are super grateful for everybody that's hit that subscribe button. Whoever that camera operator is that just did that push, that was beautiful there. Shout out to all of our students that are working the cameras here tonight, and I think that was Elena that just did that push.
And what's great, we work on that during the live show.
We
with
do.
The push.
Yeah, as we reestablish ourselves at the game. I see you over there on camera 1. Of course, all the people that are running our cameras here today, and including Dom and Diego and everybody in our truck is students. That's a great kickoff, and it's going to be a touchback. So the Mustangs won't make a return here. It's on their, the second kickoff for Lubbock High.
And you expect the Westerners to get the ball rolling here, get some momentum here on defense so that could translate over to your offensive side of the ball.
You want to see them fly around, right? This first drive, and it's a lot of the times the first drive coming out of the start of the game, but in and out of the halftime, it's a tone-setting drive, right? What did you do? What kind of adjustments did you make here? And both teams want to set the tone here to start the second half. A gain of maybe 1 on the play. The defense making a big stop there on first down as DeBose with the carry.
Right, and you saw the interior linemen all over that play. They shut it down quick, got maybe a yard on that play up the middle, and just absolutely shut it down there.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Andrews Mustangs. You know, we were talking to some of the people up here at halftime, Diego and I was. They love how fast this Andrews offense looks whenever they break the huddle and instantly everybody runs to the line and it's an immediate snap. And they, like we were talking about in the first half, that can mess with the mind of the defense a little bit.
Right, and as we mentioned, if you're not mentally ready for that, there's no telling what can happen. And if you just think you got the time or you think you have the space, they're going to rush you. They're in a rush. They want to score as quick as they can.
It's going to be a timeout for Lubbock High. Of course, it's a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. You know, these guys have been practicing all week preparing for Andrews, right? The scout team offense, you have to have athletes be able to mimic what this, you know, the opposing offense is trying to do to give you the best look that you possibly can. But when you have a Division I talented player like DeBose, it's so hard to mimic his athletic ability in practice every week, and the speed and the timing that they do, it's so hard to mimic, and that's tough to see.
Right, and this is the type of speed, the type of physical ability and athleticism that you just have to see in game, but have to be mentally prepared for. And as we've seen, DeBose is running hard, and he's using his physical abilities.
You know, we went in, we were talking to people in the break as well about how to pronunciations on names, and we nailed it, man.
Yep, we got it right.
We nailed it. The PA announcer had to go get some clarification on how to say DeBose's last name, but we nailed it.
We got it.
We did our research.
We got it.
We did our research.
We got game notes.
7 pages of it.
7 pages of it.
7 pages of game prep. So here comes the Mustangs. It's going to be a first down on that third down, and he's continuing to move as the balls will be down at about the 43.
And these teams are getting more physical, as I see on this drive. They go up the middle here with the fullback, it looks like. Just quick little inside, get some yards there, some tough yards, even after being hit at the line of scrimmage.
Look at how the Lubbock High defense is lining up, Diego. The box is absolutely loaded. But the Mustangs are still finding a way to avoid the 10, 11 defenders that are inside the box and get substantial gains almost every play. Like we said, 9.8 yards per carry is an insane stat.
Right, when you're getting that much yardage, you know that the run game is working, and that's what they keep doing. No passing yards, all rushing yards. Keep it going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, Saya is on the carry right there. He's been the number 2 option for this offense so far today. See the cheerleaders and then the Rough Riders out there rooting on the Westerners. But it's been the Mustangs game today. Quickly to the line. It's going to be a reverse to Saez. Scratch that DeBose, and he will get pushed backwards after a gain of maybe nothing. It looks like he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Right, Taji Whitfield did a great job just stopping the play there. He had nowhere to go, just straight into Taji's arms as he kept pushing them back as they're just back where they ended up.
I love seeing all these players with their hand in the dirt. You know, that just screams physical football, and that's what we're seeing.
Right, one word I have for it is gritty. You know,
gritty.
Gritty.
I like
and
that.
It's physical, and they're scrappy. They're just going to get straight to it. They know exactly what they're coming with. All the yards are rushing.
So back to it we go. It's Saez on the carry this time. Breaking through a tackle. Has one defender to beat. Great tackle there for Lubbock High. It's Joe Rosendo taking him down right there, because if he was able to get past Rosendo, it was going to be to the pay dirt.
Right, that would have been 6, as there's another Westerner down here in the second half.
Right, you see them breaking through that initial line right there, getting to that second level. When the running backs for Andrews can get to that second level, it is so dangerous because, right, it's open field tackling at that point.
Right, and like you said, as you mentioned, if Joe Rosendo wasn't there, that goes for 6 there, because of all the physical ability that these Andrews running backs have. Every single one of them is going to get you yards, and they trust them. That's why they keep going to them.
See the Westerner drum line having a good time. You know, I think that's my favorite part of the band right there. Here's an instant replay, though, of the injury. Oh, and it's another hard hit. This time it looked like Markel Wine was the one that went down right there, and it is, as I see a number 7 down there on the field. It's just one, and again, this is part of the big physical plays that these teams are playing. It's tough to see, but he's up and he's under his own power, and that's good to see.
Right, his injuries were big in the last half. We saw four.
We saw
we
three that were for sure. We saw the cart come out twice.
Yes.
And when you see the tire tracks on the field from the cart coming out, it eats you up.
It does. It eats everybody up, no matter who you are a fan of.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Everybody on the Andrews sideline when the Westerner was down, went silent. They gathered around and looked like they were praying. DeBose here on the carry, cutting it back in, leaping over his offensive lineman, and tackled at the 25-yard line.
There's a good tackle there by Xavier Ramirez there. Made a great play there, just hopping over his own man to get the ball carrier down.
Yeah, look, DeBose had to jump over multiple people there.
Multiple people.
To be able to gain 4 on the play. And to me, that shows commitment, right? You're trying to do the extra to get that extra yard, putting his body on the line right there, because when you leap into the air, to me, it screams nothing but trouble. Is he trying to stiff arm out of a tackle? And no, sir. Great defensive play for Lubbock High, Xavier Ramirez.
We said his name on back-to-back plays now. You might see him come up. He might have gotten told something in the halftime speech that really gave him the drive to make these 2 plays, maybe even more.
Ramirez, a 6'1", 200-pound junior, and he's stepping up right now. And when your key piece, your linebacker that is leading everybody in this region in tackles, and Zeke, Rodriguez. There we go. Went down, right? You got to have somebody else step up, and he stepped up. On 3rd down, they needed 5. They got about 3, and it's going to be 4th down.
Great stop there. That's exactly what the Westerners need to get some momentum on their side, forcing a 4th down opportunity here. Although it's 4th and short, you never know what this Andrews offense can do here.
Right, and again, we've seen this before, right? It's been 4th down, and they've gone for it, and I believe they've been perfect on 4th down tonight. I'm gonna look through my stats as they get ready to run back up to the line of scrimmage. 4th down conversions as of halftime, they were 2 for 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go here again, and they do.
Yeah, they are. 4th and 2. It's going to be a handoff, and they get the 1st down by a couple of yards. They're into the red zone.
All it took was those couple yards.
All right, we have a sideline report with our sideline reporter, Dominic Martinez. He's a senior from Lubbock High. Dom, what do you have for us down there?
Mrs. Ansel, being here at Lowry Field with your dancers must be a most thrilling experience, especially for the student section and, of course, the football team that gets to watch and see your dancers kill it on the field.
Yes, it's always such a joy to watch them. If you didn't know that our music did not work, unfortunately, our first home game, so we got to perform our hip-hop again, and the music worked, and they did a great job.
That's awesome. I always love to hear that. Thanks, Mr. Ward. I'll send it back to you at the desk.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dominic. I don't know if you just saw that right there. That was a shake and bake for DeBose there.
Great body control there. As we're about to see on the instant replay, he just keeps it moving, and it's just that one step is all it takes to get him some extra yards.
It was the Sutter step planting his foot and then going the opposite direction there. It's going to be 1st and goal, ball at the 4-yard line. That is impressive. When you see that kind of stuff in the college level and the NFL level, and sometimes you see it here at the high school level. We just saw it there firsthand. Driving forward from the 4-yard line, give them 6, touchdown, Mustangs. They extend their lead.
Great play there up the middle. As we're about to see here, the O-line really did good, got really physical there. All they needed was a couple of yards, and he got it. And I find myself saying that a lot because, honestly, that's really all they need sometimes. We've seen that twice, same play call on the other side of the field for the Mustangs.
They liked that was a play that was right through the A-gap. If you're into technical gaps in the offensive line, that was the A-gap, and he powered in for the score. And they went for the extra point this time, and it's good. So now it's 35-7, Mustangs on top of the Westerners. We were talking about the importance of the first drive coming out of halftime break, and the Mustangs delivered.
Right, and that momentum is going to be on their side for the next couple of drives. When you score right out of halftime, that really gets you high and the other team low. So we're looking to see how the Westerners come out and prevail through that adversity there.
I like what you said there, the high and low, right? Because when you come out of any halftime break, it doesn't matter what the scoreboard looks like. You're coming out with a little new mojo, a little new sense of urgency, because you just got the pep talk again, right? And these guys were fired up and ready to roll, and it kind of deflates you a little bit, takes the gas out of the I don't know, the balloon, I guess.
Right, and sometimes the pep talk is all you need. Maybe, and sometimes all you need is just to be told exactly what you're doing wrong so you can fix it. I know sometimes I catch myself doing something wrong, and my coach will come up to me and say, hey, you're doing this, and that's all it takes sometimes. So that's why this halftime speech was so beneficial for both of these teams.
Yeah, and the key is you got to be coachable, right? You got to be coachable, and these guys are out here showing that they are. So here comes the kickoff team for Andrews. Received at about the 20-yard line is DJ Jones. Cutting it back up and will be tackled at around the 37-yard line, maybe the 38. A solid return there. He gathered it at about the 19 and took it another 19.
Right, that's what you want from your kick returner. You want a good physical and good burst of speed there to get you as much yards as you can for your offense. And especially when you have this momentum on the Andrews side, you really want to get things going.
So back comes this Lubbock High offense, and it's Dallas Trevino. Of course, he was the starter for the first 2 games and then was out the last 2 games, and here we are back with him again. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Jones, trying to bounce it outside after nothing in front of him, and he's going to be swallowed up by 3 Mustangs.
Right, they all read that perfectly. It looked like Dallas was kind of looking over here to the Lubbock High sideline over here at, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not too sure who it is right here, the wide receiver here. It might have been a read hit there. He just wasn't open.
So here we are, 2nd and 9. Again, the clock is continuing to roll, and it's because we got 2 teams that love to run the football. And as I say that, it looks like Dallas Trevino was going for a pass, and that's going to fall incomplete. He felt pressure immediately.
Yeah, immediately there was Mustangs all over him. There was nothing to do there.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in and hanging around through halftime. Diego, you got any special fans watching tonight?
Yeah, most of my family actually is watching it right now, and they said I did great the first time, and they were excited to hear me again. And I appreciate you, Mr. Ward, for getting me signed up for this one. I'm excited.
I had to go to bat for you because we had a different student on the list, and I was like, hey, Diego walked in and said he wanted it. And they were like, Diego can have it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Diego was smiling from ear to ear.
Yep, and the tie too.
And the tie, yeah. Did you tell them about the tie?
I'm gonna tell them about the tie right now. I'm gonna tell everybody.
Do it.
So I'll walk in. We have a thing called Tie Tuesday.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, and it's a big thing.
It's our thing.
It's our thing.
It's our
in
thing.
Mr. Ward's class, and you learn how to tie different tie knots. If you master one, do another. I saw a Yankee blue with white pinstripes. With white pinstripes, I said I gotta have it, and I couldn't get off of it.
Well, that's what happens when you're a shortstop. And what a catch! That was a perfectly placed ball by Dallas Trevino, and going up and high pointing, that was Derek Torres.
Great concentration there with the defender in your face, hands in your face. You don't know if he's going to hit the ball or not. You just got to trust your hands, trust what you're seeing, and that's exactly what he did there to get the big gain for the Western offense.
So I'm looking down on the sideline after that big play. I'm seeing the coaches, and then I look immediately behind the coaches, and I see Zeph Barella with crutches and a boot on his left leg, and that was your starting running back that averaged 15 yards per carry last week, and it appears he's going to be out for the rest of the night.
And did he get injured on that?
This play on the sideline is DJ Jones
sideline.
gets eaten up and immediately behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to go down as a loss on the play.
Yeah, they brought a lot of people there. As we mentioned, they're going to bring pressure. They're known for bringing pressure. That's exactly what they did, and just DJ Jones couldn't get away from him.
Of course, Jones, if you're looking at the depth chart, right, and of course he's come back, and I believe last year he wore number 81, but if you're looking at the depth chart, he is a running back number 3 for you that has seen some action tonight, and he's showing that there's no drop-off really at all with the different running backs. He's pretty special himself.
Right, he also has that burst of speed and that athleticism to get everything else out of what, like we see Zeph Barella.
There's Zeph Barella right there, of course. You know, he started out this season on JV because he was battling some injuries early on, but the sophomore is appearing to be out for the game as he's on crutches, and as we pan down, you see the boot on his leg. That's very unfortunate for that young man because he was really starting to hit his groove, make some really good runs tonight, and of course last week he went off, and you don't like seeing that for that young man.
Right, last game 200 yards on 15 carries is pretty special.
That's big time. And talking about big time, this is a huge run for DJ Jones. He's got one defender to beat. He's still battling and pushing his way forward. Did he get in? He did. That was special. Touchdown, Lubbock High. DJ Jones gets 6, and he's dancing in the end zone.
He hit the Dion there.
And it looks like the flag, and the flag might be horse collar. You'll see here on the instant replay. Diego's thinking face mask. Yeah, there it is right there. That's why he got pulled backwards like that. Gosh, that was a tough face mask, but an even tougher finish by DJ Jones. And like you said, he did the Dion in the end zone.
Right, Dion in Colorado inspiring a lot of people. I know everyone's been talking about they're gonna hit a celebration with Dion, and I finally saw it here.
He is special, Dion is, and what he's building over there in Colorado. I have never heard of a program having College Game Day on ESPN and then Fox's Big Noon at the same time.
At the same time. That was special.
Yep. Well, talking about special, it was that run there by DJ Jones, and that's why we're showing another angle of it, because our great camera crew of Lubbock ISD TV students are bringing you all the great angles.
And as we were talking about that burst of speed all the running backs have on the Lubbock High Westerner offense, that shows you DJ Jones. He looked like their third string after Zeph and Zeke Rodriguez. He came in and he's producing touchdowns, producing yards, and that's exactly what the Westerners needed. They needed that momentum switch.
Looking at our officials there, of course, I believe our producer told us that it's a student running replay as well. And so Dalton Edgar. Ooh, I know Dalton Edgar. He calls me Mr. Weirdo.
Mr. Weirdo?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's got to be Mr. Ward.
Yep. That's okay, though. I take that with honor. Like, yeah, I'm the weird guy.
Yep.
Result of the try. Good.
All right, so that extra point is good. Scores 35-14. The Westerners, to start the second half, rather, I like to talk in boxing references. They got punched first, but it's important in life to get back up and throw the punch back, and that's what they did.
Right, they didn't stay down whenever they got punched first, as you mentioned, and they just came with it. They matched the momentum that Andrews brought in the first drive, and they did exactly what they did with that big play.
So you're seeing them move the ball forward as they're going to be kicking the ball off in Andrews' territory, and Yael Ontiveros, with the power that he has kicking the football, he's already cleared and had touchbacks already today, and where they're at here, it'll be even easier for him. What position does Yael play in soccer? Do you know?
I think he's on the defensive side.
Okay, so he's a defender?
I think he's a defender. But he also, I was talking to Coach Vaughn, he also plays a little goalie.
Oh, okay.
Little keeper.
So usually the goalkeepers are the ones with the massive legs that can really kick the ball. And so I was hoping that as the football falls over right there, we do have some wind here today. And it's probably helping keep the field a little cooler. Of course, Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park got new turf over the offseason and has little wood chips on it. As an onside kick here, recovered by Andrews. I like that call right there, specifically where the ball was and where they had to kick it off. You're already on that side of the field. Why not?
Right, everyone knows it has to go 10 yards, so I don't mind that decision at all. I actually like it a lot, knowing where you are, knowing how hard that onside kick is going to be kicked. I like that decision there by the Westerners.
Absolutely, and it gives them a shot to get the ball back, right? Because at the end of the day, all you got to do is give yourself a shot, and they did it there.
Right, and especially with momentum on their side, you really want to get that back there. That's a great idea to go for that onside kick.
So with 4:41 to go here in the third quarter, we've officially hit 6 o'clock. We've been broadcasting for 2 hours, Diego.
Doesn't even feel like it.
Not at all. Handoff right up the middle. And a gain of maybe a few on that play. I thought, is that Charles Hogan out there? No, it wasn't. That was number 30, Saez. He has been really efficient for this Andrews offense tonight, right? He is the kind of the thunder to the lightning that is Jayshawn DeBose, right? It's the complimentary back, right? That can be the bruiser when you need a few yards.
Right, he's going to get you those tough yards while DeBose?
Yep, Jayshawn DeBose.
DeBose. See, now I got it wrong. They got me.
Yeah, the other media members up here messing up the names.
DeBose.
Yeah, it's DeBose. Here's the instant replay of DeBose on that carry. So it's going to be 3rd down and 3 now And again, they continue to get into these third down situations. But for Andrews tonight, they continue to convert on these third down situations. They're perfectly fine with gaining 3 to 4 every play because they know they're going to get another 3 or 4 on this next play.
Right, and you could also say they're comfortable on fourth down as well. They're perfect.
They're 3 for 3 today on third down, or fourth down rather. And on this third down, they get a first down, move the chains.
Yeah, no need to pull up the fourth down statistic. They get it on third.
Yeah, and I'd be interested to know what their third down statistics are through the half. So they were 3 for 5, obviously, because that's what caused the other 2 fourth downs that they went perfect on. So I'm a fan of them going to that far sidelines, Andrews, and getting the play from their coach and then running it back into the huddle. Because one, it gets the defense thinking, right? It gives them time to get adjusted, and then I don't know. It's old school football, and to me, old school football is so fun. The quarterback's going to keep it this time, trying to get the tackle from behind. I noticed him moments ago was Taji Whitfield. Whitfield, he looks the part.
Right, he's tall. He also plays basketball as well. A lot of multi-sport athletes on this Westerner team.
Absolutely. Aiden Olivas, though, on the quarterback keeper. You know, they rock you to sleep with these 2 other running backs, and then they hit you with the quarterback keeping it there. There's the third option that we haven't talked about in quite some time.
Right, they haven't been going to the quarterback, but that time they do, and it's a successful yardage there.
Yeah, move the chains.
Move
it's
the
first
chains.
and 10. It's 1st and 10 from about the 46. Olivas under center. They might have gotten Lubbock High offsides, and they did. No, it's going to be a false start. The line judge is going to call it.
52, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, that's probably the reason why the Lubbock High defender jumped, right? When you see that offensive lineman move, that's your key.
That's your cue. Yep,
yeah.
That's your cue to go ahead, go hard.
Most of the time, you know, it's like you see the ball move, right? You have the lineman looking at the ball, but when you see that offensive lineman in front of you, it's go time. Some substitutions here for Lubbock High. Sprinting out onto the field was Keegan Davis. Of course, we've called his name multiple times tonight, making some big stops. It's going to be a pitch to DeBose. Getting tackled from behind and then popped on the side there. Derek Torres really hitting him there.
Right, it wasn't just one defender. That was the whole team there. Looked like the whole team right there that stopped him there, but ultimately Derek Torres put the hand on him and brought him down.
Put a shoulder on him.
Yeah,
and
put a shoulder.
And that's how it is nowadays, right? 5-10 years ago, those players that are coming in and they would be leading with their head. Nowadays, right, and that's good that they made this change, right, because it's going to keep the athletes, the long-term head injuries safer.
And you don't want to see any athlete down in any sport, so.
Not at all. Mustangs running quickly up to the line. A lot of them in a 4-point stance. Pitching it to DeBose. Great hole there and great blocks. He's cutting it out to the outside. He is so smart and elusive. It is so impressive to watch that young man run.
You almost saw him go at a 90-degree angle directly to the sideline to get out of the way of 3 Westerner defenders there, as you're about to see on the replay. Just saw it right there, just cut up field and just got more yardage than honestly he should have, because if the odds are stacked against him in that point.
Yeah.
And he just has the athletic ability to get more yards.
He went from north to south to east and west real quick. 1st and 10. Back to DeBose they go. It was a pitch this time. One play moved the chains, and he's got so much more. To the 10, he will score. Diving for it and touchdown, Mustangs. He is so impressive from the 39-yard line. He scores.
I saw a truck there. I saw some jukes. I saw a little stiff arm action go there. He's got it all.
Yeah, he pushed that Lubbock High defender down and then patiently waited behind the lineman there to get the block and then dives for the pylon.
We've called his name a lot, and for a good reason. He's special. And when you're getting recruitment like that, and when you have a performance like this, it shows why.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking down on the sideline now to see, and the extra point opportunity's no good. Went to the left. You know, we've talked about how he's got interest from schools like Texas Tech, TCU, and Baylor. These would be the kind of games where you want to look on the sideline. I know Texas Tech is already in West Virginia getting ready to play the Mountaineers, but this is where you would see, the scouts and the recruiters, right? They'd come watch.
Right, and of course, everyone's looking for the next big thing. Everyone wants to have the best running back everybody wants to have. And we're seeing a great performance here from all of the Mustang running backs. The whole old line's doing a great job. This is just great game for the Mustangs.
So right now, DeBow is a sophomore, standing at 5'9", 180. Yeah, you just gave me the look when I said sophomore.
Sophomore. Wow, that's impressive.
But to me, that screams, okay, this young man still has time to grow. He's going to get taller, right? As boys or teenagers, they don't quit growing until they're like 17, 18. And so I think he's still got potential to reach 5'10", 5'11", and maybe even 6 foot.
See, when you told me he had interest from D1 schools, I was thinking junior, senior. And when I see him play like he's matured, a mature senior, a captain on the offense is what I reminded me of. When you say sophomore, it surprises me.
Well, that ball is going to go out of bounds. That had a, we talk about 90-degree turns. That ball got kicked, landed weird, and then went 90 degrees out of bounds.
Directly on the 30-yard line.
Joe Rosendo made the right call right there. Initially, when it hit the ground, I'm like, what are you doing? Got to gather it in right there, because if the Mustangs were able to come in and recover it, it would have been their ball, but we'll have a penalty on the play. So big brain move by Rosendo is what I was trying to get to right there. We're going to hear from our official.
Free kick out of bounds. 5 yards out and one. First down.
All right, so the Westerners are going to start this drive at about the 35-yard line. And you see how they're looking to the sidelines. Right now, where they're at on the field, Diego, the sun is trying to set behind the stands here, and it's kind of hard to look.
Right, and if your coaches are in the shade, that might be a little issue, but it looks like they're out here in the sun.
Right, yeah, and that's Josh Lewis on the carry. He got met instantly at the line of scrimmage and got pushed back from there. A flag did come flying in, though, here on this close side.
First down.
Second face mask going against Andrews. And that's a big penalty right there, right? Because 15 yards, that is no small percentage of the field right there.
Right, that gets you from the Westerners being on their side of the field to now on the Mustang, or the 50-yard line now.
It's on the 50-yard line.
50-yard line now.
All right, so this will most likely be the final play, and it will be if they get the snap off. And they won't. The buzzer's going to go off before they snap it, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. 41-14. This one has been a kind of an exciting third quarter, and we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to put a bow on this thing. It's fourth quarter action from Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. You're watching this game on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel.
Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
This is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD-TV.
Swinging a miss, struck him out.
Welcome back to Lowry Field. The Mustangs lead the Westerners 41-14. Westerners ball here on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and back comes this offense, right?
Right.
I'm excited to see what they do on this drive, Diego. I don't know, they had success on that last drive, right? And they were able to do it by a couple ways. Running the football, obviously, but then Trevino connects on that great touchdown pass. I'm thinking, yeah, and they're going back to the air here. Coleman, he caught that in between the corner and the safety there. He found the seam, and that's a beautiful pass.
Right, and beautiful read as well, knowing there was no one there, that he could fit it inside of that tight hole and the right second. Great job by Dodge Trevino there.
Absolutely. That's something that, I don't know, I remember running plays like that whenever I was in middle school, right? When I was playing fullback, you take advantage of where the defenders are lined up, and that's what they did right there. That play didn't go for anything, though. It might be a loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Oh, man, we just got our stats through 3 quarters. Jashawn DeBose has 21 carries for 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 11.4 yards per carry.
Yeah, averaging a first down a carry. That's huge. That's big time.
Mercosio Saez has 11 carries for 119 yards, 11 yards per carry.
Yeah, when you have 2 guys.
Oh, and there's another pass trying to go over the top of that defender. That seems to be their go-to look right there, right? Trying to let your receiver show their speed and beat that defender. It's a 50-50 ball. That one was slightly overthrown.
Right, and when you do see Dallas throw the ball, he doesn't have it for long. He gets rid of it fast because he knows pressure is coming with the Andrews defensive scheme being bring the pressure.
Yeah, they're the front line there for the Andrews Mustangs. They're really good at their technique. They've mastered the technique of rushing the quarterback, getting that lineman off of you. As DJ Jones there carries that one for a great gain, close to that first down marker. The first down, the chain crew thought he got it, but it'll be just short.
Yeah, just a little short, but great cut there in the backfield to recognize the gap and go straight through it, and he just got extra yards there.
So it's 4th down and 1. This is a big 4th down right here. The Westerners need to get this one. Trevino, he's gotten them to jump off sides a few times, and you saw him try to go for it there with the clap.
Right. I didn't think they were going to do anything else there on 3rd down or 4th down. Of course, they're going to try and go back to the hard count, trying to get him to jump as they have been.
All right, it's going to be Jones with the carry. It's a sweep around this side. He's got to hit that corner. He'll get the first down and more. He'll be tackled at about the 6-yard line. Great run by DJ Jones.
Right, and he's running hard, and he's using all the speed he's got and using the strength he's got. It didn't look like he was going to be able to turn that corner, but he ultimately sped up and was able to get it, and plus some yards after contact.
Looking at some of the stats running-wise for Lubbock High, Zeph Barella, he only had 4 carries, but he had 52 yards on those 4 carries, and so he was over 10 yards per carry. Jones, 5 attempts through 3 quarters, 30 yards, and so he's really starting to get going here in the second half as he plants his foot there, diving forward, and he gets it. Touchdown, DJ Jones.
And that's back-to-back drives now that they did score. That momentum is building as we were talking about. This is exactly what you need if you're a Westerner, if you're the Westerner offense. You want to get the momentum. You want to keep putting points on the board. Put some pressure on the
wow.
Andrews.
Sorry, I saw that camera angle there of Dazon Jones diving forward like that. Shout out to camera 5 over there. We see y'all. Great camera angle of that play. Again, those are students on these cameras bringing you all of these different camera angles. And so here's the extra point. Yalon Taveros out there. Good snap, good hold. The extra point up and good. The Westerners, they might have found their offensive mojo a little bit here in the second half as they respond to a Mustangs touchdown. It's 41-21. Mustangs on top of the Westerners. We'll be back with more right after this short break. You're watching Lubbock ISD football on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel. We have a sideline report with our great sideline reporter, Dominic Martinez. Dom, what do you have for us after that touchdown drive?
Mr. Ward, I'm here with
Dallas Bayless.
Nice to meet you, Coach Bayless. And of course, being here at Lowry Field, you get to see a lot of things going on, especially with the band. The band is one of Lubbock High's loud and proud, people out there. So I'm wanting to ask, how do you guys keep up the energy so much?
Man, these kids have a lot of energy. They have a lot of spirit. They're a really close-knit family. And so we get together and we just have a good time as a family, and we just try to drag everybody along with us.
All right, I like to hear that. Thanks, Mr. Ward. Sending it back to you at the booth.
All right, thanks so much, Dom. He's been out there killing it tonight. He's gotten multiple interviews, and he's been talking to a lot of great people. We appreciate him and all of our students working so hard tonight. And I appreciate you, Diego. You've been killing it, man.
I appreciate you, Mr. Ward, having me up here. It's always great learning learning while doing it, and this is awesome to me because I'm doing all this and I'm learning new words from you, and this is a great experience for me.
Well, is it they'll love to see it? Is that the ones you learned from me? I have a real bad habit of rubbing off on the student that's next to me on on those weird sayings.
No, yeah, you do love to see it. We'll say that. If you watched the Estacado game last week, you heard us say you love to see it a lot.
Most like in the first half.
Yeah,
the first half. No, hands-on learning is the greatest learning, right? Now I know it's we have cameras in the students' hands, and I know technically we're not doing hands-on because we're speaking, but this is how you do it. You do it by real-world experience, and we're so grateful that we have these opportunities. Handoff here, first down and more for the Mustangs. Great carry there by Leroy Millen. That's the first time we've called his name tonight.
And we see them spreading it out in the running back room. See that they're very deep there. They trust every single running back to get them some good yards, and that's exactly what we saw here.
Well, and you talk about how deep their running back room is. We kind of talked about it during that little break right there. Lubbock High's running back room has been shown tonight to be pretty deep as well. We've seen 4 different running backs for Lubbock High tote the rock.
Right, we've seen 4 different guys with 4 different. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Diego. Another great run. This time a long run from the 43-yard line all the way to the Westerners' 19-yard line. That is a big run there for the Mustangs.
Right, he had blockers galore there. Everybody was blocking. Everybody had their assignment. He broke some tackles there. It was just a great run all around.
Yeah, Jeremiah Mullen on the carry there. Again, another Mustang running back getting a big run. This Mustang team is showing how talented they are. That's the truth.
And how deep they are as well.
Right. Getting to the line quick. Another great run, bouncing it outside, cutting it back in and spinning, and eventually being dropped was Leroy Millen. Millen, again, he's showing that he has some elusiveness and some speed.
Right, and that's exactly what you want at this situation. You're in the red zone. You need some good yardage there, and that's exactly what he did. Use his burst of speed to get ultimately where Andrews wants to end up right now.
So first and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. Getting to the line quick. It's Millen, and he'll score. He went in untouched. Give him 6. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Great job there by the O-line, doing their job, sticking to their assignment, and just blocking exactly who needed to be blocked for their running back to go untouched. And I think that's a great accomplishment, if you ask me. When your running back gets untouched, yeah, that's great. I would be very happy if I was the O-line coach.
Well, especially whenever, every play, they're loading the box, Lubbock High is. So when we say they're loading the box, there's 9 defenders, sometimes 10 defenders in the area that's from the tackles to tackles, and they're still dominating at the line of scrimmage.
Right, they asserted dominance in the first half and haven't let up.
See the band across the way? Man, I'm a band junkie, man. I love it. To me, there's nothing that beats it. The sound of the drums, the beat of the song, the brass, playing the music. It's just, I'm into it. I don't know.
I love
you're
it.
seeing my animations up here. Our viewers at home aren't being able to see it, but I'm getting into it.
Yeah, if you could see it, you would have thought he was in the band, maybe the marching band.
I might be out there conducting one day,
maybe, right? Standing up there.
Yeah. The iconic shot of Peyton Manning, directing the Tennessee band after they won in college. That's me up here right now. That is me. So here comes the Andrews Mustangs. Again, we have another game coming your way on this Lubbock ISD YouTube channel, but I want to preview this. Band Extravaganza. Scan that URL code right there, right? You can get tickets to come see over 1,200 Lubbock ISD students come out and perform. It's the high school bands, it's the middle school bands, the Texas Tech band, and this year the LCU band are all going to be coming here and playing. You've seen the Going Band from Raiderland play at a Tech game.
Of course.
It's the same show here at Lowry, plus all the other great shows that our students do. It's a great night filled with music.
Right.
Talking about it, keep going. Go for it.
As I was going to say, it's all students, and you're going to see all the hard work that students go into. We talk about the hard work on the football field. Also, right here in the stands is the band, the drum line, and everyone that makes Friday Night Lights, or rather Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Friday
afternoon.
Hey, the lights are on now.
Lights
okay?
are on.
The lights are
Friday afternoon lights.
There we go. The lights are on. No, and I was about to say, whenever you were bringing that up, they have their own version of two-a-days, right? They go and march in the mornings. They stay during the afternoons. They learn their routines. They do their steps. It's really fun to to see them do what they do and see how they grow as a team as that pass falls incomplete as Derek Torres was the target.
Right, and as a matter of fact, going on with the band topic, they have a football field and the cafeteria parking lot at Lubbock High. It's a designed football field so that they know exactly where they need to be at, exactly when and where, and it's like a replica football field in the parking lot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
No, yeah, they like spray paint it, right? Or parking lot paint,
Yeah,
whatever
whatever
kind of paint
it is, right?
is.
The
Yeah.
paint, parking lot paint.
Yeah, and you better not park there whenever it's time for the band to practice, right?
Nope, you cannot park there after 4:30. Yeah, good luck.
It's the band's parking spot.
Yep, that's the band.
All right, 2nd and 10, ball at the 34. Feeling some pressure, having to run. Slinging it on the run. Caught by Trini Tijarina at the 50-yard line. Hey, I like that right there, right? Trevino rolling out, feeling a lot of pressure, and slinging it on the run to his top target.
Right, and Trini, that was not his assigned route. He just saw his quarterback in trouble and went with him. Great connection and great trust there by each other.
No, yeah, that's a receiver, and that's what receivers do, right? They pay attention to what's happening. As I'm watching the field down here, and I apologize for losing my train of thought on that play, they just backed him up. There was a flag on the play.
Holding on the offense.
Have personal foul on the defense. Those are offset. Replay the down.
Okay, so they'll replay the down after the great things that we were just talking about and the great play that we just saw. Those penalties offset, and we're going to replay the down.
Right, and unfortunately, some stuff happens like that, and you just honestly can't control that. But they have the momentum right now. They've put up points on the board. This is exactly where they want to be. There's no doubt that they still have the confidence to make another big play like that.
Right.
And you see them going to the pass lately. It's been working for them.
You know, I would say this is probably one of the best defenses that Lubbock High has seen all season, right? With the amount of pressure that their defense has brought, as that is going to be a loss on the play for Jones, right? They get pressure on the quarterback. They play fast. They're scrappy, and they make plays on that side of the ball. And wouldn't you agree this is probably one of the better defenses that Lubbock High has seen this year?
Yes, I do agree. This team brings the pressure. They can play coverage. They can defend the pass. They can stop the run, and they just got it all.
They got it all. And we say it a lot because we're baseball guys up here, but you tip your cap to them because you can appreciate great things happening, and great things are happening over in Andrews on that defensive side of the ball.
Right, not just on the defensive side, but on the offensive as well. They've put up.
It's 48 points. 48 points. And the style of offense that they play, it's not really known to rack up points on the scoreboard. It's about dominating time of possession and not allowing the other team to have a chance to have the ball.
Right, and we touched on that a little bit on the time of possession. That's usually what you look for. You just want to get some points on the board and rely on your defense. But here, it's been a little bit of everything. Everything's been working for the Andrews Mustangs here.
Yeah, and timeout on the field. It's a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. Thank you to them for sponsoring our timeouts this season. Going through time and possession through 4 quarters, of course, we're already almost 6 minutes into this 4th quarter. But through 3, Andrews had 21 minutes time of possession compared to Lubbock High's 15. And so there is a 6-minute difference, and that's going to, when you're out there, those 6 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but that could really make a defense gas because they're having to play sideline to sideline a lot, and they're having to stop the run, and that's exhausting even for me having to talk up here.
Right, and it's exhausting, and especially with the hurry-up offense that Andrews does run, that can take a toll on your defense, and that's why you see a lot of new defenders going out there that we really didn't see that started it because, I mean, the starters are gassed, and you know, this is something that Lubbock High has not seen offensive-wise. This isn't the traditional spread offense that they've been facing.
Yeah, a lot of teams nowadays, right, they run more of what like you said, the traditional offenses that you see, right? Maybe like 60, 70% pass to 30% run, where this is more 98% run to 2% pass. And I'm looking at our stat sheet. Andrews has not completed a pass yet, so it's been 100%.
100%.
Talking about passing, there's a pass. Going over the top, did it get picked off? It looks like it did. Intercepted there by Andrews. Going over to the top to make that play was Adolfo Valles.
That was he saw exactly where the quarterback was going, read his eyes the whole way, and just made a play on it. That was what we call a 50-50 ball.
It is.
And it just went the defense's way.
and it's because it was an athletic play. Now, it looked like it was double coverage, and it was. Right, Trevino knew where he wanted to go on that play, and it was probably a design going that way. But Andrews read it perfectly. They were on top of it, and they knew where he wanted to go, and they had multiple defenders there.
And the Andrews defense just forces the quarterback to make a play quick because they're on you quick.
On you quick.
So you have to make a decision, and sometimes it's the wrong decision, and that's exactly what they look for.
So this year, right, Andrews has gone to this new style of play where they run the ball, they run the slot T, and it's because of their offensive linemen. And Lubbock High is doing their thing again where they shake their head. But these offensive linemen, though, are lean, mean, blocking machines. And they made this change is because of the style of offensive linemen that they have, right? To be able to run the spread like they used to back in the day, you need some big nasties up front. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
These guys, you know, they're fast, they're agile, and they're able to get downfield and lay strong blocks on these guys. And you got to, I love that's what the coaches are making adjustments for their team. They're coaching to their team. And so, Tom Harvey, I tip my cap to you because a lot of coaches, they don't like making change because it's their style of play. But Coach Harvey over on the opposite sideline adjusted to his guys, adjusted their offensive scheme so that they could be more successful.
Right, and it shows the success. I mean, you have 2 or 3 guys over 10 rushing yards each carry. Yes, and that's just playing to your team. You got the physical guys up front on the O-line, and you got everybody that understands you. You have a quarterback that understands it. That's what makes this team stick out.
The quarterback is what makes this kind of offense go. You have to have a smart quarterback that has it in between the ears, that knows the difference between I need to hand it here, I need to keep it here, I need to pitch it here, because he's got 2, 3, 4 options every play that he can go out and do. And so you have to have a smart quarterback, and Aiden Olivas, he's it. You seeing it here today.
Right, he's it. I mean, the 48 points that have been scored for the Mustangs show it, and he just has it between the ears, as you mentioned. That's a great analogy. I like that because he's got it. He knows what to do, when to do it, and that's just. And I again tip my hat to the coach playing with this team. He knows the strengths.
Well, and a lot of times, right, to be able to run this offense to perfection, you start it. These football teams, as that's a big carry on first down, gain of a solid 7. These coaches, they teach their programs from middle school all the way up, and they learn these plays over the course of 4, 5, 6 years, right? With them implementing this new offense, it takes some time to learn it, to be able to make the right reads, and through. This is week 5, they're making those right reads, and that's what's even more impressive to me is they're so new into this, but it doesn't look like it.
Right, it looks like they've been running this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the same, this looks like this has been Andrews' thing, but when you hear it's the first year and you see 48 points on the board, you're like, okay, they're doing something here.
Yeah, hey, what's up, hello, they got this offense down. First down on that play. Another running back getting another touch for Andrews as they move the chains once again.
Right, the running back room is so deep, and it's just.
I think it's got to be. I believe that was Cole Iverson on the carry.
Right, it's just so deep, and the coaches trust every single one of them, giving them some reps. Like, okay, look, if you want to be a running back, you got to be able to understand this, and all of them have understood it.
So actually, that was Jeremiah Mullen on that carry. So it wasn't a new running back.
Yes, same. We've called his name a couple of times.
We have, and this clock is continuing to move. We are now less than 3 minutes left in this game. Of course, at 8 o'clock tonight, come back. You want to make sure you're tuned into the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel because we have another premier matchup on the docket. Abilene High, the Eagles, come soaring into town, ready to face the Monterey Plainsmen. Both teams coming off 2 straight losses, Diego. Both teams wanting to get back in that win column, and so I'm thinking we're going to see some eagerness and some chippiness to get back in that win column.
Right, and Abilene High is ranked on Dave Campbell's.
They were before they had these back-to-back losses.
Okay,
they were ranked. I want to say they were ranked ninth. Yeah, and so that tells you the kind of team they have, right? And they played 6A schools before this. They had Friendship on the docket, and I want to say they had a Midland Odessa. Okay, well, you know their schedule better than I do. There you go, and I'm calling that game next. And so they're playing 6A powerhouses, and that's why they dropped those 2 games. But district plays here, and we're about to witness something really great tonight for these 2 teams.
2 scrappy teams that want it just as much as the other team does, and it's just this is going to come down to who really wants it more, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for it. Again, that's at 8 o'clock tonight here on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel. But until then, we're here and we're locked in on the Westerners and Mustangs, 48-21. Mustangs taking their time as they move the ball. But as you see here, they're still in the huddle. But if we could tilt the camera down a little bit, you see the center, he's standing there holding the ball.
Right, and he's prepared for anything, and he's ready to go. He's just waiting on the quarterback's call.
Mullen on the carry once again, getting inside the 10-yard line, bouncing off multiple Westerners. Are you kidding me? What a run. Touchdown, Andrews, Jeremiah Mullen, refusing to be denied, bouncing off at least a handful of Westerners and finding the blue turf.
Broke so many tackles, used his physical ability to break those tackles, and then use his speed.
I'm counting how many. That's 2, 3, 4 with
5, 6. Yeah. That was a tough run there. That's exactly what you want right there. You want those tough yards. You want them to get in there. I bet you they weren't expecting a touchdown there, but they ultimately got it. And that just shows you how much talent is on this Andrews offense.
Yeah, it's I believe that's his second touchdown in the fourth quarter, and that extra point up and good. 55-21, Mustangs on top of the Westerners. Here's another look at this run. Again, just so impressive. Westerners dripped all over him, but he wasn't going to be denied. And I love this because coaches, specifically running back coaches, they teach you, once you get hit, don't stop running. Keep the wheels churning, and that's what the point right there is, right? He kept his wheels moving, and he scored.
Right, that was just great show of athleticism there. Getting in for his second touchdown of the day. Just shows you how deep, as we keep saying, shows you how deep that Andrews running back room is. Trust every single one of them. Go out there, make a play, and that's exactly what they're doing in this brand new offense.
So back comes the kickoff team. We've gotten pretty familiar with the Lubbock, the Andrews kickoff team tonight. Of course, they've kicked the ball off a good amount, and they've done some things with this kickoff where, right, Lubbock High struggled to catch it earlier. They kicked it deep to DJ Jones. Jones kind of hugged the sidelines for a big play. You got to think they don't want to kick it to number 10 back there.
Right, you don't want to. You want to maybe go to one of these guys up front that haven't really touched the ball. See. Looks like
it's an end-over-end kick, and it's going to be dropped at about the 15, and it's going to be a backwards pass to DJ Jones. He drops it himself, and he's going to get swallowed up. It's going to be a loss. 13-yard line is we're going to start this drive with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, but 1 minute to go. To be specific, 59 seconds to go. I don't know if that makes any difference, but yeah, that was a backwards pass on the. As we're about to take a look here, backwards pass.
Oh, I see our wireless camera here getting this awesome shot of it as they throw it backwards to Jones. It was a little high right there. I think that's an interesting look by DJ Jones there with the gloves on the face mask. And he's not the only athlete I've seen that.
Right.
I've seen multiple student athletes do that. Is that the trend nowadays?
I'm not too sure. This is my first time seeing it for the Westerners, and I haven't seen Andrews with it, but just looks like he just had him hanging there. I don't know how they stay there, but
yeah, the Velcro, right? Kind of, you have to hold it in. Trevino, 5-step drop, immediately feeling some pressure and having to roll out of the pocket. It's going to be caught over the middle by Coleman. Great catch there.
Right, Coleman's a big target, good guy to go to. Nice, he's a good tall target, and he knew he was going to get hit there, so it was a great job catching it and securing it.
Joshua Coleman, a 6'2" senior. High pass for Torres, and that's going to fall out of bounds.
You see them going to that screen a lot, and trusting your receiver to block is a big thing on that, especially with 34 seconds to go left in the clock. They wanted a big play out of that. Ultimately, just couldn't get it.
Yeah, they like to play sideline to sideline.
Yep.
That's what you're exactly right. They do like to go, and we saw that with the running back room, though, for Andrews, right? When you can get your playmakers out in space near those sidelines, they can do something. Throwing it up, and nobody home for Torres, and it's going to fall incomplete. The closest player was in a white jersey.
Yep, it looked like he was just going out of bounds there just to, stop clock, because knowing they only have 27 seconds, score being 55-21, you're just trying to build something here. Just get some positives out of this drive here.
And I thought Coleman's catch a second ago was a definite positive.
Oh, for sure,
Because that was his first catch of the game. So here we are on 3rd and 10. It's going to be a handoff to DJ Jones. Great block there by Coleman, and he continues to run. Look at DJ Jones. He's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, gain of 27.
Yeah, speaking of positives, yeah, when you hurdle 2 guys, I think that's a positive. Just a tough run there. We're going to take another look at it here.
You see our camera operator bid on the fake there, so great job. Yeah, I didn't see the leap a second ago. That is impressive.
He hurdled 2 defenders there at the same time. That's pretty impressive.
He needs to be on the track team.
He is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, feeling some pressure and just having to throw it away. I don't know if he was out of the between the tackles and tackles there, but it'll fall incomplete.
You know, with Dallas being a freshman, he's very mature at the quarterback spot, I would say, knowing exactly what's going on. I think that's something that you can build on for the next 3 years, 3 seasons. You got a guy.
The trajectory of this young man is nothing but up, right?
Right.
If you are good enough at a 5A school to be the starting quarterback as a freshman, that tells me that the coaches see something in you and you have a possibility of being something special. And so I can't wait, like you were saying, I can't wait to see him develop over the next couple of years.
Right, his ceiling's very high. He just has it between the ears, like you've said. I like that. And
you have it between the ears, Diego.
I could be better. I could be better, Mr. Wood. You got it. I'm learning from you.
So that play was a pass and a catch to Derek Torres as he steps out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd down and about 9 with 9 seconds to go here. Of course, once again, I want to say it one more time. We have another game here on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel. It starts at 8 o'clock. Abilene versus Monterey. A flag. Torres pump fakes and throws. It was in the neighborhood of Trini Tijarina, but it will fall incomplete. There is a flag on the play. I kind of like that. I'm loving this, that you know what, you're down and you're not going to have
formation on the offense. Too many players in the backfield. Still 2nd down.
You're not going to be able to come back and win this game, Lubbock High is, right?
Yeah, with 2 seconds left.
Right, but you still have the playbook open. You're still willing to try and do something here. You're not folding it in. You're still fighting out there, and I think that's a representation of Coach Rod and what he's doing with this program.
Right, it's not over till it's over, and he's a great representation of that. See what they do here. Yeah, they run it with DJ Jones. He's been running it well. Why not do it again?
Yeah, why not? So that's going to do it. 55-21. Mustangs beat the Westerners. The Mustangs improved to 3-2 on the season. Lubbock High falls to 2-3. Diego, final thoughts on tonight's game?
You know, Andrews has a lot of positives and not too many negatives. I mean, the formation that they have is working for them, and they can keep building, keep perfecting it. When you score 55 points with the 2 o'clock formation, you gotta know it's positive. For the Westerners, you got positives and you got negatives, and that is for both teams. You just got to keep building, keep working in practice, and like you said, it's a new game every time.
Both teams battled injuries. The injury bug was biting both teams tonight. We wish everybody that went down tonight all the best. We hope that they can heal up and we can see them back out here once again. Again, final score 55-21. Andrews beats Lubbock High to improve to 3-2 on the season. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. It's Plainsman and Eagles time. Are you ready? Because I am. We'll see you then.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD-TV.